Welcome to the Flip Side, episode 7. I'm here with my friend Ren. She goes by Out of the Box Thrift on YouTube and also Living Large with El Crew on YouTube as well. Ren, welcome to the Flip Side.
Yes, I love it. I am so happy to be here. Thank you for having me. It's
Wait,
funny.
wait, wait. Are
Wait,
you so happy to be here? If you were so happy to be here, you would have been here last Friday. I'm just saying.
okay, but let the people know. Let the people know. I had a chance to see Dead and Company on their final tour. Like literally, we stood outside of Wrigley Field because I live in Chicago.
You said Dead and Company? I thought it was Grateful Dead.
Well, it's like them. It's them without Jerry Garcia. So it is the
Oh,
Grateful
so,
Dead, but it's
okay. But just,
John Mayer. But it's their final tour. Like they're done after this, and
are
so
you
we
sure they're done
literally.
after this?
They say they're done after this. So I'm like, okay, if it really is my last chance, I got to take it. I don't know. People say that they'll probably
So
come
you pretty much picked John Mayer over me. Is what I heard.
without saying yes, yes. But it was a sold
Guys,
out show. It was a sold out show, and we got
let me know
last.
down in the comments below how foolish a decision she made to pick John Mayer over me. Clearly, it's just a
Or put in
terrible
the
choice.
comments, or put in the comments what you would have done.
Yeah, I guess that too. Yeah,
No, you're
before we
good.
start, there's a big debate going on with the last episode. The big debate is chewy bacon or crispy bacon. Which team are you on?
Ooh, I feel like either way you're gonna get haters, but I think I'm gonna go with crispy bacon.
All right, it was a fun show, Ren. Thank you for coming. That was great.
You have to understand. You have to I can get down with either one, but if I am choosing or if I'm making the bacon, I'm gonna make it's gonna end up being crispy.
Now, is it like just crispy or like crispy to the point of where you pick it up, it falls apart in like 8 pieces, crispy?
No, 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 not that crispy. I like a good middle. I think it needs a crunch. It can be both. Can I go be on team both?
No, you can't be on team both.
Yes, with the edges crispy and the rest of it
Actually,
like
so this is the debate was I was with Ray Natural Flippers on the podcast, but we got into it with Amber Resells via text message. You know, Amber Resells.
oh yeah, for sure. It wasn't like your first episode with her?
Yeah, she's a really good friend of mine, and she sent me a picture
Uh-oh.
right here. So there's like a level. So I'm going to share a picture with you, and you tell me which one of these are you. Okay, so
Okay, for
because
sure.
I think just soft and crispy is just not enough of a scale
There
to
are
do it.
it's a sliding scale. It's a
So
spectrum. Yes.
there
Okay,
you
so
go.
see,
So
I honestly
1 through 6, which one are you?
I'm putting myself like it probably at 4.
4. Amber was also a 4. So
Yeah.
that's
She knows
I am a
the
3.
good
So
stuff.
I'm right before you guys. Just not
Okay.
as crispy. I'm a 3.
Not as crispy.
But when people heard me say soft, they just thought I meant like 1, which I'm like that's just
No.
raw. No,
That's
so
yeah,
I,
that's just
I
wrong.
I'm getting to the crispy part. I don't like it that crispy. I like it still a little soft. So that I am a 3. But a
I
lot
think
of
that if
times
you're
when you go to like a diner, they give you a 6 when you don't tell them
they
how to cook
do.
it, and I
They
can't
do.
eat that. So that's why I always say soft. So it's always safe. You know what I mean? Yeah.
But you would think that with 6, like, or at diners, they would know better than to cook it all the way to 6. Like no, like that just looks unprofessional. Okay, because that's like too much.
Yeah,
That just
I've seen
burns.
how diners work is they cook a lot of it beforehand and then they just put it in like
Oh,
the
just
hot
toss it
thing,
back in the yeah.
and so if you don't ask for like soft, they don't actually make it fresh. They go from one of the ones that's already been sitting there, and it's usually a 5 or 6 by the time it gets to you. So
Yeah. Oh,
that's
that's
why I get
valid.
the soft. There we go.
It's not. But I
But
feel like if
but
you're eating one, there's something wrong. Like that's just raw bacon. Like that's just raw meat.
I'm sure
No offense.
there's people out there that enjoy that, but
I'm
not
sure
me.
there are. Don't mark me down for a 1.
Eh, Anyways, now that we're done with the bacon talk, that was a very important part of the podcast,
Yes,
the
it is
bacon
important.
conversation. Tell the people who you are.
Well,
Who are you, Ren?
who am I? I've been trying to figure that out the last 25 years. Um, I'm Ren. I Oh my gosh, that's such a loaded question because it's like, what do people want to know, right?
It is a little question. Pretend I'm in an elevator with you, and I have no clue who you are, and you have 30 seconds before I get off to tell me who you
With
are.
the elevator pitch. Okay, my name is Ren. I grew up in the suburbs of Chicago, and I love to create, no matter what that looks like. A lot of ways that I've been doing it lately is through video, hence the YouTube channels, plural. I love to travel and share stories, and those all things are combined with the YouTube. But I also just, yeah, I love travel. I love live music. I love connecting with people, and I think it really everything comes down to connection. And so I think it's really important to nurture personal, like interpersonal connections with anybody and everybody. So
That was pretty good. That was pretty good.
thanks.
Hey,
That's hard because you could go down any path, right? Like I could
yeah.
talk about like there's so many things, right?
I don't get this multiple channel thing. What is this all about? I never heard somebody
No.
that could have more than one channel.
Yeah, you've never heard of that
What is
ever.
this?
What?
This is
It's
breaking
news to
news to
you.
me. You could have more than one channel on YouTube.
Yeah, you
What?
could have like 10. I think you're on your
Whoa.
way there, honestly.
Yeah, I have 4. So
Yeah, see, you're halfway. You're just about halfway.
whoa, we're halfway there.
Living on a prayer, baby.
That's right.
That's what we're doing.
Yeah, that's pretty much my whole
So
life.
we're
Just
all we're all out here
living the
doing
prayer.
that.
We're used to work on the
Living.
docks. Union's been on strike.
Wait, how did we meet?
We met. I can tell you how we met. I don't know if you remember how we met. I met you in Kay's live. Kay,
Yeah,
Passports and Pizza Pies, was
yeah.
live, and I was in the live with her. And you were like, "Yo, what's up, cool peeps? I liked your energy in the live chat. Like, this girl got some cool energy. I want to check out your videos." And I saw you get stuck in an elevator. I was like, "Yep, this girl's cool. Let
That's
me
the
be friends with
one.
her."
That's okay. I feel like we talked about that. And that's like the weird stuff that I'm always saying, like with the storytelling, like weird stuff happens to everyone every day. But
Yeah,
it's like, what do you do with those experiences? But yes, no, now I do remember that because, and then since then, I think we just like stay connected on Instagram, and I've
correct.
like watched like,
You
all of
just
your
been
stuff.
watching me nonstop ever since.
Literally, yes, across the channels, like moving to Florida. That's
Yes.
crazy.
Oh, I declined that. My pops call me and I sure doesn't know
I
that
was like,
I'm
I don't think that's my phone.
gotta. I keep forgetting to hit the not disturb every time I go live on here.
I hear you. I
I'm
hear you.
sorry. I'm sorry, man. You now have my ultimate attention. It's
Yeah,
100%.
yeah, it's about time.
Sheesh. Oh man.
Do you believe this, people?
Yeah. I feel like because you made a big move too, right? You moved out on your own,
Yeah.
but I think you did it a little before me. When did you move out?
So it's funny because I'm literally getting ready to move again in next
Oh.
month. Just moving, like I'm not moving far. So I moved out of my parents' house um last August. Yeah, like in August, I think. And when
That's when
did you
I.
make the
That's when
move?
I announced it was last August.
Okay, yeah.
That's
And
when I
then
knew I
when
was
when did you move?
moving. I
March?
moved in January.
January. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, yeah. Good stuff. Yeah, no, so we did we had like a 1 year lease, and the place that we lived, Chicago, like I said, everyone, um, we got a really good deal, but like we realized as time was going on that like it really was not like the apartment seemed a lot better when we looked at it than when we moved in. You know what I mean? So there was like a ton of little maintenance things that like we were having a hard time like getting fixed and just things like that. And so we were like,
That's
we're not
usually
gonna miss out
how
on.
it works. That's usually how it works. They make it
Yeah,
seem like it's perfect, get you signed the
of
lease, and you're like,
course.
wait a minute, this sink is running, and
Right.
this thing is not right.
Well,
And
the
yeah,
hardest
that's.
thing, yeah, and it's so annoying. The hardest thing was that like we knew we were gonna have radiators like for as heaters because we don't have like central heat or air.
Wait, what do you
But
need heat for? Does it get cold there? What is this heat thing used for?
whatever, you know that Chicago literally is the coldest place on earth next to like Alaska. Okay, the winters are brutal, and so literally we don't have like at our apartment we do not have control of when they turn on. So they'll randomly turn on, which is great, and it'll heat the place, but like in the time in
Wait.
between, it's just
What
freezing
what do you
cold.
mean you don't have control? Who has control over it?
I don't like they just come on whenever, like I don't know, it's like on a cycle or something, and it'll like come on at like 5 a.m., but then you wake up in the middle of the night and you're like freezing to death because it doesn't like pop on. It comes out like goes off at like midnight or something like crazy, something crazy like that. And that's like something I cannot get down with. Like I'm horrible when I'm cold. Like in one of those videos from that time when I was stuck in the elevator, like you were like literally stranded in London, and I was so cold that I was just crying because I was so upset that I was cold. Like I'm bad with the cold, so
Seems like Chicago's not for you if you're bad with the cold. But
oh my god.
I
But that's
guess
the
if
thing, like the
heaters are
summers
there,
are amazing. I'm
yeah.
like, oh my god. But someday I'll move out of the city. I really will. But for now, it's like my job's here, my full-time job's here, and all my people are still like people are slowly but surely, like branching out and moving, but a lot of my people are still here. So
Yeah, that was the big thing with me in Florida is that I left a lot of my people
mhm.
in Philly, but I knew
Yeah,
that eventually I'm a social butterfly. I will find new people,
more
and
people for sure.
it
And like
yeah. So,
you're always obviously with doing stuff like this, you've got people all over the country, like all over the world, right? So it's like there's always opportunity for
for
people.
sure, yeah.
But do you have you okay, I feel like I did ask you this, but do you have family in Florida?
No,
Or you just okay, you were just like, I'm gonna just go do it and goodbye everybody.
yeah. All my family is actually for a long time was in my county in Pennsylvania. We live in Delaware County, so we were all in one county. So there
Oh
was we
wow.
were very, very
Very
close to each
close.
other.
For
Like
sure.
5 minutes away from somebody, 10 minutes away from somebody was like that. And then my cousin was the first one to branch out, and he moved to Cleveland, and then he moved to Jacksonville, Florida, and then he moved back to Pennsylvania. So by the
Oh,
time I moved here, I had nobody in Florida again.
yeah, okay. But I think
So
it's important, like, so I like it's important to get out if you want to. You know what I mean? Like I think a lot of people feel stuck in where they are physically because of, people and whatever else, and just even the fear of like trying something new on your own. But I think it's in a really important step. So I think it's awesome that you just did it. You're like, I'm moving to somewhere warm. Like, good for you.
it's been on my mind for a while. I was I wanted to do it earlier, but then COVID happens and just the world
Yeah,
stops. It's kind of like all your plans go out the window,
for
and then
sure.
I kind of forgot about it that I wanted to do it. And then one of my good friends who lives in Baltimore moved down here to the city because it's kind of so the way it worked is we have a me and him have a mutual friend. His name is Dave. He lives here. He got married here. We went to his wedding and we're like, this city is kind of cool. I could envision us moving here. This happened like 2018. So
Okay.
then COVID happens 2020. I forget about it. 2021, my friend calls me like, yo, I'm moving to where we talked about. I was like, whoa, okay. You're
That's
actually doing
crazy.
it. That's cool. So then I was like, all right. 2022 happened. I started thinking about it, and then just out of nowhere, like, yeah, we're making it. We're making it happen. I talked about this on Becky's channel. Is that just for where I was in my life, something like this had to happen. I wasn't happy with the warehouse life. I wasn't happy with the life that I had there, and it couldn't just been a small little change of me moving down the street, getting another house. I wanted
Yeah.
something big like
You
this.
wanted a big
Yeah,
change. Yeah.
big change, and this is a
Understandable.
huge change in everything, in weather, and climate, and beach life, and I made a change, not just a location change, but like a lifestyle change. Like in PA, it was all work, 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 no time for anything else. Here, I'm actually making time. Like I said, I've been more to the beach this year than I've been combined my whole life. So
See,
it's been
that's
great. Yeah.
amazing. That is amazing.
And you can
Like you
see
need
I got a
something.
little color. I'm not like
Yeah.
white anymore. So
Get that tan. Yeah. Honestly, me too a little bit, even though it's just turned summer like a last week here. Um, but
I feel like you're outside all the time though, so it's not gonna take long for you to get the color.
yeah, that's true. Well, I mean, I haven't uploaded any of the full vlogs yet. I had some of the shorts on my channel, but I just spent like 3 weeks in Hawaii, which was insane. Like, oh my God.
That looked
And lots of
terrible.
fun videos coming for that, but I got tan there.
That looked terrible. Hawaii looked like
Oh
miserable.
my
I,
gosh, it was
I, I don't know.
horrible.
I don't know how you survived.
It wasn't pretty. The food was horrible.
Was that your first time going?
Yeah, I'd never been before.
And were you on the main one or the main
No, so
island?
we were on Maui.
Okay.
Yeah, it worked out because so my best friend that I went with, she was graduating physical therapy school. Like she literally graduated and like 2 days later we left. And so we were like, if there's any time that we're gonna do this big trip, it's gonna be before she like jumpstarts her career. Because for those
Yeah.
of you who don't know, I'm a bartender full time. I resell part time. But I can take with that, like with that lifestyle, like I can take time off whenever, right? Like a lot of us know this
Yeah.
with our kind of with this sort of industry that we work in and work for ourselves. But um, so I can take time off whenever. So we're like, we should go now. And her family, like distant family, has a condo that they rent out. So we got to stay there.
Oh,
So it was like
nice.
it just worked out that we were like, we gotta go somewhere, and like this is just kind of what's available. And we're like, why would we not go to Maui? Like that's beautiful. So we just did it.
So how does one get? Is the airport's not on Maui, right? It's in Oahu or whatever, right? Whatever
So
that
there
one
is
is.
a small airport on Maui. It's literally like the size of like it's so small. There's like
The
two.
size of your apartment.
It's the size. Honestly, basically, yes. It's really small, but we got a flight from, I mean, we like had a layover in like San Francisco, and we flew direct into Maui, which is like crazy that we even got
Oh,
these
I
flights.
thought you would fly into Honolulu, then go from there
Yeah.
to
Well, a
Maui.
lot of
But no,
people
okay.
do. A lot of people take like the ferry or the boat over, but
Yeah.
we got
Okay.
lucky in a lot of ways with that trip. So
So then from the airport, you just like rent a Jeep or whatever and
yeah.
just drive. Yeah.
Yep.
Nice.
And we ended up like meeting again, the connection thing. We ended up meeting so having
Did you
trouble
just
here.
see that?
We like
My mic just decided to fall over.
hit you in the face. We met so many friends there, just local people that were able to show us like the cool places that weren't like full of tourists, which like I love that. Like I'm all about that stuff. So
Yeah.
like that was awesome too.
No, that's my big thing is when I travel, I try to find somebody local and show me
Yeah.
where the locals go because
Yeah.
tourist traps are the worst. Like, they're
Yeah,
like,
and I mean, a lot of times they can be pretty and like whatever, like the famous beaches or whatever. Like I'm sure even in Florida, like there's like the places that people go when they visit, but um, just like seeing the actual, and especially in Hawaii, there's so much culture there. We were like, we want to learn, like see how people live. Like we wanted to learn. Like I feel like I learned so much about like the fruits and the language and like all the different stuff that like the culture behind why everything
yeah.
is the way it is, which is super cool.
Do
It's
any
valuable.
do any hikes while you were there?
Oh my god, of course. Yeah, we did one that we literally hiked like into a cloud. We were so high up that we were like in a cloud. It was really cool.
Dang. I
Yeah.
know there's like some really good like volcano hikes and stuff there. So
Mhm. Yeah, and there's this a famous mountain, national park, Haleakala, and it's a like giant mountain volcano. And a lot of people will drive up in like a carrot, like in a giant van for sunrise, and then bike down. But I was thinking
ooh.
we did it. We didn't do that part. We went up for sunset, but I was like, how do people bike down this? It's like this very thin, like one half the time, like one lane, like road. And I'm like, I cannot imagine biking down this. It's so many twists and turns. Like I would not survive on a
You
bike. Let
have
me
to be
tell
like
you
a
that.
professional for sure. It's not for
Yeah.
just like
And I'm like,
yeah.
tourists are doing that. Like, I do not understand how people survive, but it's fine. We didn't do
Dang.
that. So yeah, we're like, I'm not putting myself through that.
So on your you've been traveling a lot, right? So where would
Mhm.
you put up Hawaii on that trip? So one of the
Ooh,
best, the middle, one of the worst.
it definitely is high up on there.
It's high up there. Okay.
Way high up there because it's like we got such a variety of like activities, right? Like we were hiking and then we were surfing and then we were like getting drinks with the local people and like um just like like so many different things. We went snorkeling, like the wildlife was amazing. Like we saw all these sea turtles. Like I think it definitely goes in the top. I feel like
Top
I would say
top
like
tier.
top,
Top
yeah,
tier.
top tier for
Okay.
sure. Places I've
Interesting.
traveled and things I've seen
Right.
for sure.
For those who are not aware, where else have you been? Just quickly name off country, states, whatever.
I've been okay. So I actually hit. So I just turned 25 last month, and I hit my 25th state that I've been to
Oh,
when I turned
nice.
25. So I'm like, I want to see all 50 states. So I've
Hawaii
been.
was 25 for you?
Hawaii was 25,
That's
which
a
is
cool
great.
25 to
Yeah,
have, yeah.
right, right. So 25 states. I've been like around quite a bit, mostly west, not so much east. I've been to Costa Rica, Canada, Italy, France, Hungary, now Hawaii, which I know is a state, but yeah,
No,
I've been
Switzerland? No, no, you weren't.
Switzerland
Yeah.
and the
England?
UK.
Yeah, UK. Yeah, you didn't mention that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that whole little trip. And then I feel like I am missing Spain. Oh my gosh, there's another one.
It's a good problem to have when you can't remember all
You
of them.
can't think. Right, right. Yeah, it is. It is a good problem. But the thing is, like, there's so much to
But
explore.
mainly
Like,
like Europe and North America, right? You haven't been South America yet,
not yet.
Africa, Asia.
No, no. See, that's the
Okay.
thing. It's like I've like where I've been. Sure, it's like a lot per se, but it's there's
Still a
so much
very
more to
small part of
see.
the world that you saw, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the
exactly.
crazy part. Yeah.
Exactly. And the different cultures of it all, like Asia, Africa, like that's so different from like Western European American cultures. So like
Yeah.
to finally get there eventually will be so cool. So cool.
Even like South America, I've been there a couple of times. It's way different than Europe
Yeah,
or North America. It's crazy wherever you travel to. It's not just like the places you see, just the lifestyle people have. You know, the way people move.
yeah,
Like Chicago is a very like bussin' town. Everybody is like boom, boom, boom,
exactly.
boom. and
Everyone's got
like
somewhere to be at all times. Like you're gonna get hit by a car in traffic. Like that's what it's like.
yeah, if you're at a green light and it's been green for half a second and you don't move, you're gonna get able honking at you.
It's insane. Literally, it's insane.
I've noticed here Florida is completely dark because Philly was the same way as Chicago. It was the same kind of lifestyle. Everybody's like
Yeah,
busting, everybody's doing
it's
it.
that big city. Like,
Yeah,
like
here
hustle and
somebody in
bustle.
front of me was like on a green light for like 10 seconds, and I honked, and people got mad at me for honking. I'm like, yo, it's been 10 seconds. It's time for
You're
the
like,
person
I
to move. You
counted, man.
know.
I gave you your time. I gave you a chance to go.
Like in Philly, you would have half a second, and you would have able honking at you. 10 seconds is more than enough time, you
Right.
know.
Right.
But I've seen I've slowly been kind of developing into this like lifestyle. Like, oh, there's a 10-minute wait at the post office. Okay, that's fine. I'll
Yeah.
just figure something out.
Not so
In
much
the
of a rush. Yeah.
in the past, I'd be like, oh man, 10 minutes, man, I'm missing out on so much
I'm
by sitting
yeah,
here for
I'm
ten
wasting
minutes.
time. Like you think it's like I'm wasting time here. Yeah. And so I mean, you were saying you feel like you have more of like a work-life balance. Like the fact that you can just like go to the beach and relax instead of
Yeah,
always hustling. I'm sure that's like also because you're surrounded by that sort of mindset that,
for sure.
that's super
It's
cool.
just life comes first now, which is like not something I have. I haven't put life first. I don't think ever in my
And
life.
that's so wild. Like
Ever
so
since
many
I became
people
like
live
an
that way.
adult, yeah, it's been work first. And I've been jumping different careers and different businesses and trying to do this. And I've noticed that the whole time, like the reason why I was doing all this and working so hard was so I can enjoy my life later on. And I'm like, what's the
Mhm.
point of enjoying my life later on if when I can enjoy it the best, like when I'm younger, I'm not, you know? So like, uh,
Yeah.
that was my mentality change for sure.
Exactly. And I think so I'm seeing my dad go through this right now. So he is like a few like years from retiring and like but he's so exhausted and he's like I'm not getting any younger and my body's like not moving the same way and like his family all is in Italy, right? So he's like he wants to spend time with his family before they all get like too old and like there's so much he wants to see and I'm like dad like you gotta the time is now like you gotta be in the present as much as you can because
Yeah.
like he did let so much of his life pass him by working just focusing so much on work and again it's a balance because I see you hustling out there like you are a great example of like hustle 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 but that's because like in some ways you have to right like you have to work hard to make the money
Yeah.
but then it's like you got to remind yourself so why am I what do I need this money for it's to enjoy life right obviously we have the basic needs of
Yeah.
food and shelter but it really is bigger than that.
Yeah, it's a good point. Like I'm not saying like I became a bum. I went to Florida to stop
Not at
working,
all.
but
I still see you out there. I'm watching your videos. I see you. You are
but
hustling.
I'm just hustling in different aspects. I'm buying smarter things, buying better things that sell for more. So, like instead of listing 10 items for $10, I can list one item for $100 and get the same amount of monetary compensation. So, it
And
makes
less
sense.
time and energy kind
Yeah.
of like
When you talked about your dad traveling, I don't know if you've ever seen the meme of like these like this old couple in Venice like falling asleep on the like the dongola or whatever boat. It's like a couple like in their 80s, and people say travel while you're young because you're not going to enjoy it when you're old. So it's like a picture of like 80-year-old couples just asleep on a dongola,
asleep, missing the whole ride. That's funny.
missing
But
the whole ride.
that's true though. That's funny. I don't think I've seen that, but
Yeah.
it really that's exactly what it is. Like so.
I don't know you had family in Italy. That's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, I've met them a couple times, but it's hard because I don't speak Italian. So they speak a very, I feel like we might have talked about this before. Maybe not. They speak a very specific dialect of what is happening to my
That one was
computer?
you.
That
That
one
one
was
wasn't
me.
me.
It
That
says my latest updates. My computer's letting me know
Oh,
I can update.
you better get that update going, man. Time is now.
I don't speak, my dad doesn't speak like proper Italian. And so he never thought it would be like important to teach me Italian growing up, which I'm like, what? But so I don't know Italian. And then like my whole family, they speak this, like the dialect. And so I can't really converse with them, but I have met them all a few times. It's just hard. It's far, you
And
know?
I guess
And you know that with your
they don't
family.
speak English, right?
They
Either,
don't
right?
speak.
So
A couple of them do, like the younger ones, but not like most of them.
yeah, it's kind of rough. I can see it.
I was gonna say you have the same thing, but you speak Ukrainian, right?
I speak Ukrainian fluently, yeah. So
Fluently, yeah. But that was your
yeah,
first language, no?
yeah. I was
Yeah.
born
So
there, so yeah,
exactly you the
yeah.
whole thing. Yeah, you got the whole thing. But
What part of Italy are they from?
southern Italy, it's called Bari, or it's like Bari in English. It's like southeast, like on the coast,
Like by
not
the boat?
Sicilian.
By where the boot is, close to the boot,
but kind of by the heel. Yeah,
by the heel of the boot, heel of the
by
boot.
the heel
There
of the
we go.
boot.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know any big cities down there, but sure.
there's not a lot really. There's a few. But yeah.
Have you? So you've been to Italy then, right? To see
Mhm.
them at least. Have you
Yes.
gone anywhere else in Italy, like the major cities?
I've gone to Rome, but again,
Okay.
like you said, Venice with the boats. I have not been there, and that's a
Mm.
big. That's like on my to do list. And that's the thing. There's so much to do every place that you go, and it's like you. There's just never enough time to do everything.
Yeah, I feel like Italy has to be like at least a month trip if you want to
Hmm.
experience everything. Just like Rome, Venice, Milan, Florence,
The whole thing.
Tuscany, maybe hit Sicily up. There's
Yeah,
like
it's
it's crazy because it's like small, right? It's like probably like the size of like Florida, I would probably say.
yeah, definitely.
Maybe a little bigger, but there's just like just so and it's so I haven't been, so I can't really see it. But I had friends that been, and they say that the culture in like Milan is way different than the culture in like Tuscany or whatever.
See, that's crazy. That's
It's in
crazy.
and they're like so close to each other, but it's just so different. And I
Yeah.
also love Italian food, so I probably would like it too.
Literally, I'm like, give me all of the delicious bread and pasta, all of the things, and the coffee. I'm such a coffee girl. Like, um, this is like totally off topic, but I meant to ask you earlier when we were talking about your house. Do you so you don't do a warehouse anymore at
No,
all? Everything's at home.
hmm
That is awesome.
it's a crazy change, right?
Yeah. How does that make you feel?
It it's different. So my warehouse was 4,000 square feet, huge.
Okay. Yeah.
My house is 1,200 square feet. So
Okay.
just that is a
That's a
huge difference. And then I
yeah.
have to live here for now too. So like
Exactly.
a lot of the square footage goes to a kitchen, goes to a dining room, goes to the bathroom. Like I can't store stuff in there. So
Yeah.
my storage is kind of what you see behind me for all the
Yeah.
fragile stuff, and then all my storage is in my garage. I have a pretty
Okay.
big like a 30 by 30 garage, 30 feet by 30 feet, so it's pretty big. And I stored things on there, very like consolidated, very concise. I actually
Yeah.
have things skewed now in the warehouse. I just knew where it was. I don't have to have skews. Now I'm like I have different boxes, like garage 12, garage 19, put it in there. But that sacrifice of that to the lifestyle I have now, where like I have windows, I can go outside, I see the sun. In the warehouse, I had none of that.
Yeah.
I had no windows in my warehouse, so I saw no. All I had was just the fluorescent lights. I had no
Right.
actual sunlight.
Yeah.
Just be surrounded by like dust and just like it's a warehouse. You know, it's not a mansion.
Exactly.
It's not a pretty place to be your whole day.
Right.
But like
I feel
I
like I
would.
bet it's was so sorry. I bet it was really easy for you to like lose track of time because like
Yeah.
without seeing the sun set or rise, I mean, and you were like nonstop. Like, you'd be there like all night long.
Yeah, I would go in sometimes in the morning when it would be dark, and then when I believe it would be dark again, and I'd be like, "Well,
Yeah.
I just
And
missed the
it's
whole day."
a whole day. Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
that's awesome. Congratulations. That's really cool that you have that system now.
yeah. It's and people like are a lot of people are asking me if I'm gonna. My plan is to build it like because I went from like 8,000 listings. That was my biggest point in Philly. To I have like 1,800 now, and
Wow.
people keep asking like, "Hey, are you gonna build it up again? Like, are you gonna get a space?" And
Yeah.
I'm like, "No, I'm not. I'm like I'm very happy with the way it is. And if I'm gonna grow somewhere, I want to rather grow in the content side and the creator side and the YouTube side, have that
Yeah.
grow instead of the reselling aspect grow. So
And the
yeah,
thing is too, like with that, I think that's so awesome. And I feel like you've done the work to like so you're obviously going to focus in on the creation, which is so like I said, I just think that's so awesome. The fact that people can literally make a living by doing things like that, it's fabulous. But
yeah,
you also now have done that work. You have all that knowledge and experience, so that if you ever wanted to switch back or change your focus again, or for whatever reason YouTube ceases to exist, like you,
whoa, don't
it's
put
not.
that out there.
No, I'm
How
just
dare
saying,
you?
hey, man, in an alternate universe, you never know. But like you have that knowledge and those skills to like you could build it back up. You could get a
Yeah,
whatever. But it's like you have options, and that's even the coolest part too. It's like you're still doing what you love, but you're just taking another route with it. You don't need to have 8,000 listings. That's insane. That's crazy. That's so cool. Like that is so monumental. That's a ton.
it wasn't done.
But a lot of work again too. Like a lot of
A
work
lot
and
of work. A lot of it was just like listings that I should have never had. That's why like when
mm,
I sold a bunch of it when I when I moved, I had a bunch of just like dollar sales and other things, just like where people just come in and just would buy me out and just buy a bunch of
Yeah,
things just because I,
that's smart just to like get rid of things
yeah,
because to move, yeah.
I
'Cause
don't
did
want to
you
move
have
that much stuff.
people? You had people literally come into the warehouse, or did you like do that
Yeah,
online?
I had a big like sellout for my clothes. I had like 5,000 pieces of clothing, so I made a big post about it saying, "Hey, everything's a dollar," and you come in, you buy one piece of clothing, it's a dollar, and so in one day I sold pretty much I made like 4,000 something dollars. So it wasn't close to 5,000, but it was yeah, it was a
It
lot.
was a put a dent in it, that's for sure.
Yeah, and I think I had like three totes left. So a girl came the next day that bought a bunch and just bought the three totes for 20 bucks from me. There was probably like 200, 300 items in there. So
Yeah.
she made out really well. But I was just like so happy just to, to have it all
Yeah.
gone. It was
Right.
a lot of stuff to sell.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I feel like clothes aren't your favorite anyway. Like you don't like doing clothes really. Like
What
that's
gave it
not
away?
that's not your thing. So it's like you might as well get rid of the stuff you're not even
Mm.
excited about or like wanting to focus
Man,
your attention
no,
on.
I still buy it here. I still buy clothes at garage sales and stuff, but usually, like I say, if there's no hard goods for me to buy and I don't want to leave a garage empty-handed, it's okay, let me go look at the clothes rack, get a
That's
couple
nice.
items for a buck, whatever.
Yeah.
Do, but that's not where my passion is. And
Right,
again,
for
the
sure.
reason why I came into this space is 'cause I want to enjoy what I do. So, no, yeah.
Exactly, exactly. That should
So,
be the priority.
so tell me about you. Still a bartender. We
Yeah.
talked last time you were a bartender. Same bar, different location.
Yeah.
No.
Same bar,
Wow.
same place. It's at that steakhouse. And it's fabulous. It's so cool because um, we just have a really cool community. We most of the people that come in are regulars. I know most people by faces or names. People can walk in, I can have their drink ready, and I like as fun as like the actual like making the drinks and shaking the martinis and all that stuff is fun. Like I
Wait,
love that.
you do like the whole like cocktail like
I really
Tom
do. It's
Cruise
fun.
thing?
It's fun too because like you can get creative with it. Like people will sometimes be like, I don't know what I want to drink, and I'm like, well, do you like a vodka drinker? You like bourbon, and then like you can kind of just make something up, and if they like it, they like it, and if they don't, they don't, and then you try again. Like literally just, and I mean, unfortunately, even though we are like a full bar, I am sort of limited. Like there's some things that we just don't carry because we're it's a little more like upscale as a steakhouse, so like there are some things I don't have to like play around with ingredient wise, but like it's really just fun to like mess around and like create new cocktails and drinks for people.
What's your favorite drink to make?
Um, I really like so the restaurant where I work, we have this a cocktail called the Doppelganger, and
Oh,
I think it's delicious, and I think that's why I like to make it. But it's so we do Angel's Envy bourbon with amaretto di Serono,
hmm.
and then the Luxardo cherry juice, so like it kind of sweetens it up. It kind of really like cuts the like harshness of the whiskey, and then lemon juice, and we top it with ginger ale. So it's like all these like
Wow.
random. It's like
That's
really random,
I did not see lemon juice and ginger ale coming when you were
right?
talking about that. I thought it
Right.
was
It's
going in the
really
cherry route.
exactly. So it's a weird mix of stuff, but it's so good. And I don't like bourbon usually or ginger ale, but I love this cocktail. So I
Interesting.
love turning people onto it because I'm like it's really weird. It's a weird mix of things, but for whatever reason it works. So
Do you guys
it's
make
just fun.
transfusions there, or is
What's
it
up?
transfusions? Do you make those there?
No, we
Yeah.
don't.
Every time I ask about that, everyone says no. So it's so unfortunate.
Transfusions. What are transfusions?
It's like a drink. I usually get at a country club. It's like
Okay.
vodka, grape juice, ginger ale, a couple other things. But
Okay.
you said ginger ale reminded me of it. But
Okay. Yeah. And that's the thing too. It's funny because people will order drinks and I'm like, I've never heard of this before. Granted, I've only been doing this for like 2 years bartending, but it's like the amount of crazy cocktails and mixes that there are out there, like it's
yeah,
insane. Like sometimes I'll literally be like, I don't know what that is, but I can Google it and see if like I can
yeah.
throw something together for you. So
The problem with me is most bars don't carry grape juice, and that's a big part of transfusion. So they're like,
yeah.
we don't have grape juice. I'm like, oh, you can't make it. You can't really
Grape
substitute that part of
juice
it.
or grapefruit juice?
Grape juice, just regular
Grape.
grape juice,
Oh, yeah.
like
See, I don't carry
Welch's.
grape. I don't carry
Yeah,
grape juice.
see, yeah, most
Could
bars don't.
okay, yeah, right. So this might be weird, but could you do wine instead of the grape juice, or would that just totally ruin it? Like,
Probably
could you
not.
do?
Probably you could do it, but it probably would just be
It would
different.
just. It definitely would be different, but
Do
that's
you ever?
interesting.
I forgot the guy's name. There's a guy I watch. He does a lot of YouTube shorts where he just mixes a bunch of different drinks together that people tell him to. It's very fun to watch.
That's cool. You should send that to me. You should
He
definitely send
had
that to
a
me.
yeah. He'd be like, somebody told me to mix Jaegermeister with chocolate milk. It will taste like a yoo-hoo or whatever. And like, so he just like gets all these like two different things. Like he'll
And he's
get
like,
like
let's try it.
he'll like it'll be like an alcohol and then like a chaser. You put it together. He'll be like, I got this Ciroc peach. I'm gonna mix it with I don't know, like a monster or whatever. And he would just like do different things and then
That's
he'll rate
cool.
them at the end. He does one every single day. The
What?
Jaeger
That's crazy.
and he doesn't just like drink it. He would like you drink the whole glass at a time. I'm like, bro, I don't know how you do it.
That's crazy. Because that's a commitment. Because what if it's horrible and you're just like
Yes,
chugging
some
the
of
shit?
them are.
Yeah.
He was like, I don't know who told you guys Jaegermeister and chocolate milk is good. That's not a
First of
good
all, anything with
combination.
Jägermeister, I'm like, what? I
Yeah,
really,
yeah.
I cannot be. Mm-mm. And
That-
we don't carry Jaeger at my bar, so people ask for
oh,
Jaeger
there we
bombs, and
go.
I'm like, no, sorry, but no, well,
I've learned for a long time. My mom would give me Jaeger as medicine when I would have like a stomach ache, and I'd be like, this is disgusting. Then when I grew up, I learned that was Jaegermeister. So ever since then, I can't drink it because it just reminds me of like
ew, yeah,
how like me being sick reminds me of that time. So
yeah.
I can't hold Jaeger down. No, I'm
That's
not a fan.
oh yeah, no. I actually have heard that though that it can be like a substitute for like Robitussin or like a cough
Yeah.
syrup. But why do people want to drink that for fun? Like I'm so, like what? I don't think that would not be my first choice of like a alcoholic drink, right? Like
Yeah.
personally,
Well, like I want something that has at least a little bit of a taste in it. There is no
yeah,
Jägermeister. I don't know, just tastes disgusting. It tastes like
yeah,
medicine.
no,
So like I'm like,
no,
not a
I'm
fan.
not a fan. There's also people will ask me. So the like trendy thing right now is, do you watch TikTok at all? Do you use TikTok?
I have a TikTok. Do I use it? No.
Right. Well, one of the trendy things on like TikTok right now, I don't really use it either, but my like all the bartenders, we have a little group chat and everyone's always sending like bartender TikTok, so it's cute. But one of the trendy things right now is like um egg whites in cocktails because
What?
it's like you
Okay.
right. So I had a guy ask me and it was really slow one day, so I was like, I guess I can try. So I literally went back to the kitchen and I was asking like the guys in the kitchen, I'm like, can you just give me some like egg
Give me
whites?
some eggs.
Right. And they're like, what the hell are you talking about? But so basically people take the egg whites and they shake it up in whatever cocktail they're doing and it makes it like frothy, almost like a coffee, like a milk
Interesting.
froth.
Interesting.
Weird, but it works for some reason. I'm not like I wouldn't order it.
It's just the white, right? So you don't get salmonella
Yeah,
because
no,
it's in
it's
the
just the
yolk.
white.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
you don't get a whole breakfast out of it. You know what? I'm sure you could. I'm sure you could, and I'm sure people do. But you don't shake the whole egg. It's just the egg whites, and it's just a little enough so that when you like shake it, it's like the bubbly froth like on the top of the drink, and it for whatever reason it works. It's similar to how like if you put like in a chocolate martini, you had like the creamer or whatever, like
Yeah.
or like in like a French martini, you could do like how the pineapple juice is like frothy. I don't know. It's really
Interesting.
an interesting art. Cocktails. It's an interesting art.
So what do you think gets ordered the most for cocktail? Like old fashions, Manhattans,
Um,
Cosmos,
lemon drops.
lemon drops.
Lemon drops. Well, because so at our restaurant we serve it as a martini rather than just like a
I
shot,
was
like
going
it's
to
a
say
whole
because you
drink.
said it's like a high end place. I would not think lemon drops for in
Right.
a high end
Well, sometimes
place.
people want it as a shot, but we have a whole like martini of it, so it's a little more
Okay.
of a mix. Like it has like more mixer than just like a typical like lemon drop shot. I feel like, but I mean, yeah, they're pretty good, and that's like that and old fashions for sure.
Yeah.
People love old fashions.
Old fashioned
Classic.
makes sense. It's a
Yeah.
classic. It's a gentleman's drink, as people say, right?
Yeah, exactly, for sure, for sure. But yeah, besides outside of bartending, I big travel girl. Love live music. Um, love festivals and things like that. I actually am uploading a video right now on my channel. Um, and I usually go to like punk rock shows by myself because none of my friends are into it. And
Hmm.
I dragged my friends along for the first time. So like this is kind of
Oh,
like it's just like the experience of like literally bringing my friends to their first little punk rock show.
So I found the clip. So apparently it's chocolate
Oh
milk
yes.
and Jaegermeister is supposed to taste like a Tootsie Roll. That's what the guy says.
Oof.
So
Okay. Let's
And
see.
if you mix Jaeger and chocolate milk, it tastes like a Tootsie Roll.
So
You know I gotta find out.
this is
So
the
let's pour
guy.
this shit up.
Every single day he does
Coming here
different
with
ones.
our glass.
I'm nervous for
Get
this.
that
Yeah.
Izzy drinks.
Oh, he does a
ice
big
water.
cube and everything.
Yeah.
Link in my
He's
bio, save you
fancy.
some money on your own.
Look how
Some
much
ice.
Jaeger he puts there. Like it's not
Fill
like a
up with
little.
Jaeger.
Look at this. Yeah, he keeps going.
Hit it with the Nesquik chocolate milk. I don't care if it's not real chocolate milk.
How much is he gonna pour? Okay.
So just a little mix.
It
The
looks
funny is,
appetizing. to the
he
eye.
mixes things with a different item every single time too. So he has like a different mixer.
Okay, so this guy's good. He's funny and creative. I like it.
Yeah.
I like
Cheers,
it.
y'all. Tootsie Roll.
He's like, he drinks the whole thing every single
Oh
time.
my god. I bet he did wonderful in college as
It
a
does not
frat
taste
boy.
like a Tootsie Roll. 5 out of 10. Apparently, if you mix Jaeger,
Yeah, so
Okay,
that's the guy.
but 5 out of 10, that's a big score.
Shout out to Izzy Drinks.
Right?
He
Like-
does one every single
Yeah.
day. It's like different. He has like a Crown,
Shout
a
out to Izzy
Pepsi.
Drinks. Oh my god.
Oh look, he has a Jaeger and a Fanta here.
today we got a request for Jaeger and orange soda. So let's pour this shit up.
What?
Let's come in here with this
What?
Jaeger. Tastes like medicine. I don't know why y'all drink.
I'm wondering
it.
if people are gonna start like catching on and sending
Hit it with
him
the
like
orange
free
Fanta.
liquor or like free, you know what I
Come at me
mean?
in the comments, but that's the correct way to
He
say
actually
it.
had one. I found out about it is that Smirnoff sent him like not Smirnoff, Twisted Tea sent him like the holiday
Give
pack,
us a little mix.
and he tried it with
Oh
that.
what? That's really cool.
Look, he's in the vacuum. To
What?
mix it.
Oh shit! Almost dropped it.
Yeah, he uses like so
Okay,
many
this guy,
different
I have to
things.
subscribe. This man is
Cheers, y'all,
funny.
while I'm breaking shit.
Yeah.
This
Izzy
is
Drinks
goofy.
is the guy. Yeah.
Cheers, y'all.
He always finishes the glass. It's just always respectful.
Izzy Drinks.
That might be the best Jaeger mix I've done. 9 out of 10.
What? Okay, so there we go. So Jaeger, everybody try Jaeger and Fanta.
Wow.
He has
150,000
Malibu and Baja Blast. He does like apple juice and Hennessy. Like he does like a bunch of crazy mixes there. So there
Okay,
we go.
apple juice and Hennessy. I've heard that. I've heard that one. It's so interesting.
Yes,
Wow, he really.
yeah.
Wow, Danimals in 4 logo.
Yeah.
What? That's crazy.
So there we go, guys.
Good for him.
Izzy Drinks. Yeah. It's crazy
Yeah,
how
right.
you just
Shout out
make
to
it like
Izzy
that. Get that concept but just do it and just be consistent to it and get
Yeah.
a big YouTube channel out of it. Just mix it,
Right,
make it a
just
drink a
doing
day.
It makes me wonder, like, when I see things like that, I wonder, like, so now is he doing this full time? Like, what was he doing before? Or like, does he make money off this? You know what I mean? Like, I always am wondering, like, what do things look like outside of these videos that people make?
Yeah. I also always wonder like what the cutoff point for content when you can go full time. Like how many
Yeah.
subs do you have to have? How many views do you have to have? So like,
Yeah.
I actually don't know how much shorts make. So I can't. I'm not a shorts content
Right.
creator. I'm a long form. So I
Right.
can't tell like his videos get 50,000 views, but they're shorts. So I'm like I don't know how much. What does that pay? And what the compensation
Exactly.
is. So I can't say if it's full time or not, but I know
Right.
for like somebody like in MySpace that can do that does like garage sale videos, I think you probably need like 50,000 subscribers, and that can be a full time career for you.
That's
Like
interesting.
where I am right now, it's 27, almost 28,000. I make pretty good money that I can save myself. Just with the YouTube, like I don't have
Just
to
with
resell.
YouTube.
I can just make money on YouTube. But like if I'm having a family, I have to pay for other people. Like that wouldn't be enough to support all of them. But
Right. Okay. So that's interesting. There are so many factors. And like you were talking about how he does shorts, obviously, and you don't. So did you feel like at any point in this journey that like you had to start doing shorts or like you're just avoiding it at all costs? Because I know with like TikTok and the reels on Instagram and all that other crap, like the way that content creation is like it's changing, you know?
yeah.
Not fully. Like obviously YouTube is still a successful platform and people love like I way prefer long form content. But did you at any point feel like it was hard to like adjust or like anything like that?
It's difficult because I've seen a lot of people blow up with shorts. They would just post shorts and blow up, and me and them would be at the same like subscriber count, and they have 6-figure subscribers. I'm still in the 20,000 range, but then the same person that blew up via shorts puts a long form out, and he can't get 500 views on his long form.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what's the point of
Yeah.
having 100,000 subscribers if they're not going to be watching your
they're
long
not-
form video?
Yeah.
So,
And
so
and
yeah,
if you're
so I have never done it, but yeah, sorry,
For
go
sure.
ahead.
No, you're fine. I was just gonna say, like, if you're in it and you want it to be a career, the money, like, it's not going to come from the shorts, right? Because of the way that YouTube pays, as far as I know, because I don't get paid from YouTube, so I don't exactly know, but I believe it's like that watch hours and the view. You know what I mean? So right, like, correct me if I'm wrong.
Oh, no, that's right. And as of now, it's right. I don't know if it's going to change in the future, but I can imagine ad companies paying more for a video that's going to appear for 60 seconds. It's like the short itself is 60
Right.
seconds. So what's the ads going to be? Like a second of that 60 seconds? You know what I mean?
Right. And
So,
even then, it's
yeah.
like, are they going to be ads like the way that YouTube does ads on the long form videos? It's like it's a full on little commercial before.
Yeah.
But with shorts, is it just going to be kind of like in between your short and the next person's? There's an ad, but how
Yeah.
does that mean? Does that always mean
Same.
that you're going to make money from that ad? You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I don't know. And I think that I feel like it's not even fleshed out fully yet at
yeah.
all.
Until it's proven, until somebody proves to me that
Yeah.
you can make a full-time guest career out of shorts, I'll start doing it. So like I still, I was part of the Instagram Reel program for a while last year where they would pay you based on like a scale. And so I made a bunch of reels last year, and I made like $200 a month on Instagram making reels. So, but then Instagram took that program away because I guess they weren't making any money on it. so
course.
they took that away. So at that same time, I'm a big follower of Gary Vee, and Gary Vee is really
Yeah.
big into if you're gonna make content, put it everywhere, right? So when I was doing Instagram Reels, I was putting this stuff on Facebook. I actually made a shorts channel on YouTube. People don't know about. I don't talk about it.
I was like, wait.
Because I think it has like. That's also what I like. Like I'm like, okay, shorts are crazy because I would have 0 subscribers on that channel, and I'll put a short, it would get 3,000 views, 4,000 views. So I'm like, okay, it's clearly
It's complicated. It's like, how do you even know
Yeah.
what?
So I would put on there. I also put it on TikTok. So that's why I have a TikTok. I was putting the stuff on there, but I haven't got mine. I don't even know where. Like to be honest, I haven't checked TikTok in a while, and I don't know what what is the monetary status of it. What do you need? I have 1,400
Right.
followers on TikTok, so I don't think I'm
TikTok,
quite
okay, for
anywhere
sure.
close to monetization. But I believe there's a world where you can do that and be good. I just don't think that world could mix with shorts and long form. So like my main
Right.
channel is built on long form, and I'm really afraid if I start putting shorts onto the main channel, and it will grow with the subs, but those people will never watch my long form content, and I'm like, what's the point there? So there we go.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. At that point,
There's your answer from me.
because too, and I feel like it's hard. Yeah. Well, yeah, I love that. It's hard too because so I've been leaning into shorts a lot recently because like either it's I'm doing something that like I don't really either have the time to make a long form thing out of, right? Or it's such a short little experience that like seeing going to Dead and Company, I made a short about it, but because I was like I don't feel like almost like taking myself out of the experience. I just want to be in it, enjoy the
Yeah.
show. Like I don't want to worry so much about like the content creation. So I took a few clips here and there, made a short, whatever. But I also feel like a lot of times the subscriber, like you can get 1 million views, but also like 10 of them might subscribe to your channel. Like a lot of times those numbers, the views on the shorts and then the actual people who come to your channel and subscribe, they don't mix at all.
Yeah.
Or vice versa. Like you'll get, I don't know, you get a lot of subscribers from it, but then they're not watching other videos. And at that
Yeah.
point, again, what's the point?
What's the point? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my biggest thing is that everybody says like, I'm like, I say, I don't get paid by subscribers. Like I don't like you guys doesn't pay me for subscribing. They pay me for the views. So I'm going to do what gets me views. And then another part of it is, my target market. I talk about this with a lot of people around. I don't know. This would be a joke for you to get to see now too. Do you know my? Because you can go to YouTube, you can go to your audience and see which audience watches your views the most, right? So according to my statistics, what would you guess is my biggest audience, age and gender? So like it goes 13 to 17 women and females, 13 to 17 males, all the way up to 65 plus females and males. What is my biggest? Oh, Oh, nope, still the same. It's still the same. So
Okay.
it goes by 10 years. So 13 to 17, 18 to 24, 25 to 35, 35 to 45, 45 to 55, 55 to 65, 65 plus. And then
I'm
male
gonna
and
say
female.
like it's let me think about this.
It's a home. Think about it long and hard.
I'm gonna go with
Yeah.
like I'm gonna go with 30 to 35 or the 30 range, the 30s.
35 to 45. That's the
Ooh,
range. That's the
sure.
range.
I'll go with
Okay.
or wait. Or should I go with lower? It's okay, hold on. Because based on what you make, okay, I'm gonna go 35 to 45 males.
Ah. 55 plus women.
What?
Yeah. That's my biggest market.
Interesting. And why do you think that is?
As of now, 14% of my audience is 55 plus women.
Wow.
The second biggest, 13%, is 65 plus women. So 55, 65, love me.
That's
Then after
interesting.
that is what you guessed, 35 to 45 males, the number 3.
Okay.
So
And what
go.
percentage is that?
11.6.
Okay.
So 12,
I'd
about
be interested
12%.
to look at mine. I haven't really looked at mine in a
Yeah.
while.
Well, that's my biggest thing too. Is when people say, "Hey, how do I grow? How do I get my channel to be bigger?" One of the biggest tips is like, "Hey, look at what your audience is, and put out content on what
That could
your
appeal to
audience
them.
watch." So I'm like,
Yeah.
if
Ooh.
you combine my 55, 65, that's 25% of my people are 55 plus women. So like,
Yeah.
why would I make shorts or stuff like that on my channel that they don't watch? They watch long form videos. Why would I put out all these shorts on my main channel when they
That's
not interested in that? Yeah.
that
So
is like next level thinking. See, I feel like I
next
need to do
level
that.
thinking, man.
The funny thing is like I feel like the thing that I worry the most about in my statistics is like the number of people that watch my videos that are not subscribed.
That's
That
good though. You want that. You want that
that
high.
is true. But then it blows my mind because I'm like, if all of you just subscribed, I could make it to that next level. Not that like monetization is not necessarily my goal, but I want to reach more people. Like I want to just
Yeah.
reach more people. And so I think it's funny that I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't
The
know. Not
the,
that
the
that really
more
matters, I guess.
the more the non-sub to sub ratio is, the more that means that YouTube is pushing your video out to the main thing. So right now,
I guess it's good then, right?
my watch time is 70% from non-subscribers. 30% of my
Yeah.
watch time is subscribers.
Let me
So
check that out.
I make like a point like every month to talk about it now on my videos. I'm like, hey, by the way, if you guys like this content, look, according to the stats, 70% of you guys are not subbed. So if you guys like it, subscribe.
Then
And
subscribe, yeah.
usually there's a really big spike on that video where people are like, oh, I've been watching this guy for 3 weeks. I haven't subscribed. Okay, let me hit the subscribe
Right.
button. But yeah, but if you want to grow, like you want that non-sub thing to keep growing.
I
It means
suppose you're
YouTube is
right.
pushing you out.
Yeah, I guess I didn't even think about that. I think I'm like, yeah, that's really see, you're changing my mindset on all of this. This is great.
You're welcome.
I'm trying to find my thingamajig.
It's in YouTube Studio, Analytics, and Audience, and then all the information is right there.
Okay. Geography, watch time from subscribe. Yeah. Oh my God. Wait,
Where
because
is it?
you just doing the last 28 days, or can I change
Yeah,
that too?
you can change it if you want, but yeah, mine's the last 28 days. I think
Okay, you ready for this?
close see more and click whatever you want. Yeah.
See, that's so interesting. Okay. I was not expecting this at all. In the last 28 days, the percentage of not subscribed people watching my videos, 94.1%.
That's good. Oh, that's good.
But then I'm like, what are my subscribers up to that they're not watching my
So what you gotta do is the next video that you put out, you can put that stat out and say, hey, by the way, a lot of you guys that are watching me are not subscribed. It would help me a lot if you do.
just click that button.
And then
That's wild.
just giving them a reminder. Now, I don't think putting that in every video is good because you don't really want to just like
To be like
hit him
annoying.
over the face with it. You're just like, oh, okay, come on, you told me last week to subscribe. Get over it. So I actually do it once a month. I actually have it on my on my calendar, like when my videos are put out, and I'm like, okay, this is the one you remind them to subscribe. I have it on my
That's really
calendar
smart.
when to do it. So yeah, that's how I make it work. That's how we do it.
Yeah, I feel like I'm taking so much out of this conversation. I feel like
While you're there, can you go? Can you show me your stats too? Scroll down to the age bracket. I want to see what your biggest
all right.
what your biggest percentage is.
Okay, can you guess? I'm
What
okay.
channel is this on? Is this for the travel channel or for
Yeah,
the travel channel?
like the
I
track
would
channel.
guess it's 25 or 35. 25 or 35, male or female. I'm not sure, but probably male. But we'll see.
Yeah, no, that is you're exactly on point. 63.9%, 25 to 34 years old.
Yep, that's the one.
Or 20. And then the gender, it says 100% male. But I find that really hard to believe. I find that really hard to believe.
Males love you.
But I feel like you know what I mean? Like I feel like that's really like how can it be 100%? You know what I mean?
Not one 25 or 35-year-old woman watched you over the last 28 days.
But okay, am I looking at this wrong? Like it yeah, I don't know. Yeah, 28 days.
I have some where like I have 0.1, so like 0.1, so it's not zero, but it's very close to zero of my audience is 13 to 17-year-old women. It's 0.1%, so it's very close to zero.
Right.
So it can be. It can definitely be
yeah.
a zero, I guess, but yeah.
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 That's really crazy. It's funny because I really haven't looked at my stats. Like I don't look at my statistics that much because sometimes I look at things and I'm like, I get over analytical and then I get like almost like perfectionist mode. Like how can or like not perfectionist, but like obsessive.
Yeah.
So I avoid it sometimes, but it is good to know.
It's definitely good to know because again, when you know what your biggest market is, you know kind of where YouTube pushes your stuff out. So that's my biggest thing is if you want to like the people that say, oh, YouTube hates me, YouTube doesn't want to push me out. I think that's all BS because YouTube wants every video to be big because the more they push you out and the more views you get, the more money they get from the ads.
Exactly.
The way the ad companies pay, I think YouTube gets 60%, we get 40%. So like when you make that big money on a YouTube video, YouTube makes more than you.
Yeah, and YouTube's profiting just as much, so they want every video to be.
Yeah, so they want everybody to pull up, but they can't push every video out to everybody. You know what I mean? So it's good for you to understand where you are and what people are watching, and you make videos based on that. And then the more people watch that, the more YouTube's like, okay, people in this age bracket keep liking Ren's video. Let's push it out to a bigger audience and a bigger audience, and that's how you grow. So like I had a conversation with somebody that also had a very similar demographic to me, with 55 plus being his demo, and he's like, oh, I'm trying to make cooler thumbnails, I'm trying to make this, I'm trying to do hard cuts, and I'm like, your demo does not want that.
Right.
Like,
it won't reward that.
Yeah,
you know?
like
That's
they don't want to see you with like a shocked face on your thumbnail with dollar bills everywhere and like all this cool art. They don't want to see a hard cut every 2 seconds like they're watching a short. Like my demo wants to see the yard sale happen. They want to hear the birds chirping in the background. They want to hear the nature. They want to hear the natural flow of the conversation. They don't want to see me just jumping from one yard sale to another, just skipping back and forth, you know? So I'm like, so he did it for like a while, and then like, he's like, I'm getting no views. I'm like, well, I told you, like your demo's not going to watch that. So there will be no views coming. So that's how
interesting.
It works.
Yeah. I guess, I think that's, I definitely something to consider for any creator, really, to consider those things.
I talked about this on with Becky. Like I used to work at Anthropology. If you know that, Anthropology.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I did not know that.
At the headquarters of Anthropology. So we would have meetings every single day, talking about what she wants, like what our target market was, like what does she want, what does she want as far as bedroom sets, what does she want as far as rugs, and do that. So like if you have that meeting with yourself at least once a month on your YouTube channel and just figure out what your audience wants and make videos based on that, you will grow eventually. It's just how it works.
Oh, that's really cool. And I love that crossover, because in like a corporate, like obviously like a corporate world, you were able to take what you learned in that setting, which is very different in a lot of ways, right? From what you're doing now, but to have that crossover of knowledge and information and have it be useful. I think that's really cool that like you took that experience and were able to use it again.
Wasn't
it's
that
to be
what's
successful.
what like life's about, right?
Yeah, it
Life's
really
about
is.
learning from everything. That's a big reason
Everything.
why I started this podcast. Is just to have people on, so I can learn from everybody. And I think
Yeah,
everybody has different experiences, different examples of how they live their life, and they can learn from. So,
yeah,
like from you, I'm learning freedom. Freedom
that's
is good.
cool. Yeah, it
I
is.
like your spontaneity. Like out of nowhere, just like boom, I'm going to this concert. Screw you, Paul.
No, screw you, Paul. No, and I felt so bad, but I was like, this is crazy. Like I was like, I'll stand here in this line, and if I can get a ticket, I have to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Didn't you take like spontaneous, like crazy trips in the past too?
oh my God, all
Or
the
just out of
time.
nowhere, just like boom, I'm going to Europe, something like that, right?
Literally, the US. Well, this one's not super spontaneous, but well, I guess it kind of is. What's today's date? Anyway, my friend called
12th.
me the other day, and she's like, "Yo, this DJ we like is playing in Vegas." And I'm like, "Yo," so on the being on the phone with her for literally like 20 minutes, she like talked me into flying to Vegas for literally 24 hours. So in 2 weeks, we're literally gonna
I
fly to
love
Vegas.
that.
She's on the phone with me, and we book hotel, flights, and get the tickets for this like pool party. Like literally we're going to be in Vegas for like 24 hours, and within that like 20-minute conversation we're like, I guess we're doing it. And not that it like now I have like a couple weeks to like fully plan, but I literally was just like, sounds like a great idea, whatever, you know,
But,
which is just
but
ridiculous, but I'm
that's,
like,
I feel like that spontaneity. I think that's a gift that you're born with, because
really, you think
there's
so?
so many people that are like would never do that. They're like, what a
Mm.
minute, wait a minute, that sounds crazy. Just gonna flip the switch and decide you're going to Vegas. You flip the switch and
Yeah,
decide you're going to Europe. Kind of, my Florida trip was also just like out of nowhere because nobody knew about it. They're like, wait a minute, you're just gonna go out of nowhere and just commit to this thing.
and you're
And
like, yeah.
I feel like it's like a gene in people. I don't know. Maybe I need to have like a scientist on in the future, and he can tell me what it is. But I feel like that's not many people can't do that. Many people
Yeah,
are just are too like happy in their world, in their bubble, and they're afraid to like make that bubble pop and say,
for
"Whoa."
sure.
They're like, "What if I don't? What if I come back and my perfect bubble isn't there now? Whatever. Like,
Hmm.
what if I do this trip to Europe for 2 weeks and I come back and my job isn't there or whatever? This isn't
Hmm.
there.
Yeah,
It's
and
interesting."
yeah, and it is interesting because something that I like to remember, like in that sort of idea with the bubble popping, it's like high risk, high reward. Like a lot of times people say that with like gambling, right? But it is kind of a gamble. But it's like you have to really live, I mean, you can live a beautiful, like beautiful. It's so subjective, right? But to like for me, it's like to live a full, beautiful life. It's like you have to take those risks of going new places and like moving your whole life down to Florida, or like traveling to a new place by yourself, or taking those risks of like you don't know how this is going to end, but
Yeah,
it's really it can the reward, it can be so great and so worth it.
for sure.
Yeah. And
And
like
when you're like 70, you're not gonna remember you working that Friday,
mhm,
but you'll remember that Vegas trip.
yeah,
Yeah, I
exactly.
remember when we took that Vegas trip out of nowhere. That was sick.
Like, out of nowhere, yeah, exactly. And I think too, it comes back to like personality types. You always hear like type A or type B. Like if you're really set in your structure of what life is supposed to look like, or your daily routine, which is
What are
totally cool.
what are they different? See, I never. I've heard about it, but I never dove into it. Can you
Yeah.
explain type A and B to me?
Okay, I might butcher this, so I'm gonna look it up really quick. I want to like I think it's like type A is like the more like okay, wait. Personality categories based on behavior, stress level, temperament. Type A personalities are competitive, perfectionist, assertive, and sensitive, and may have a higher risk of heart disease. Don't know how that. I don't know how that part matters.
That came out of nowhere.
Apparently, yeah, I wasn't ready for that.
That was like your drink. Was, oh, yeah, we just add ginger ale to
And you had
it.
your but then it says type B are patient, relaxed, easygoing, and creative. But it's like one is
So
more like
no heart disease with type B
and no
is
and less of
what I
risk of
learned.
heart disease. But it's like the idea of like type A is more like set in structure and that kind of thing, whereas type B is more like the spontaneity thing. It's like kind of like whatever, maybe like more so like free spirit, one might say, but that it's like if you're set in the structure and the routine, maybe you're right. It's like you could be like born with it, but it's also like the argument of nature versus nurture. Like, can you learn to be more like in the moment or whatever. But
Yeah.
I think it's a balance too, because I know that
The world needs both too, though. Like
Yeah,
if it was
100%.
just all type B people in the world,
Oh my God,
it
nothing would
wouldn't
get
function.
done. Yeah,
Exactly.
society would be whacked. And like, and even like, I know that I could use a little more structure in the day to day. I totally could. Like, if I told myself, like, you're going to wake up at this, like, you're going to wake up early every day, my life would be like, that would be really good for me if I could commit to that. And a lot of like, so the people who can do that, again, a lot more things get done and think like, but yeah, I think it is important that we understand that we do need both, like both those kinds of people in the world. And I think everyone needs to be on a spectrum of that.
Yeah. Well, like I also associate to like job, like type A, that people are like are 9 to 5. They go, they do their thing, they do that. Type B are people like, I guess more like me, that are resellers that have their own business to do the thing, and
don't have a set schedule.
Yeah, a lot of people are upset when they see people like doing their regular jobs and like, oh, you could just quit this and do this, and I'm like, you need both to survive. You need people like me to have their own business and do that. You also need to type those people to work 9 to 5s, because if you have if you build a business and you get to the employees, but everybody wants to be their own boss, you will have no employees to hire.
You have nothing.
So so the
and that's
world,
when society
the world needs
crumbles
both.
as well.
Yeah,
Exactly.
the world needs both. So if you're type A or type B, you guys are cool in my book.
We need everyone. We need all y'all. And I agree with you there though too, because it's funny that like, so some people, so I like, because we're like a steakhouse and like we're open for lunch and dinner where I work. We have a lot of people, like the business people that come in on their lunches, their business meetings and stuff.
Yeah.
And some of people who come in after work for like their after work drinks. And some of them I know pretty well. And people ask me like, because I went to college, and people will be like, oh, well, do you ever consider, like people will be like getting like a real job or like jumping into like whatever. And I'm like, what you don't understand is like, if all of us back here that are pouring your drinks and getting your food ready, if we all decided, yeah, we're finally going to like, quote unquote, take life more seriously or whatever. If we all suddenly decide to do that, then you have nowhere to go after work and get your drink and get your dinner that you love. Like, you know what I mean?
It's like
and
a whole ecosystem, right?
It is. And we really do
everything.
we need all of those different people like in those different realms. So
for sure,
it's funny.
Or different parts of life, right? Like we all need it. That's why I think like COVID was so scary, is that our ecosystem was kind of like destroyed. They're like, wait a minute, we don't have this part anymore. We don't have this anymore. We don't have this anymore. Like, how are you gonna make it? I feel like figured it out. Took a couple of years.
A couple of years, that is so crazy, but it really did take a couple of years.
Yeah,
but we made it through.
We made it. We're survivors. We're survivors. Destiny child.
Yes, exactly. We are a Destiny's Child at this point.
Yeah. So do you think about like what you're gonna do 5 years from now? Do you think it's still gonna be this free spirited lifestyle of just travel, hopefully by then you'll start getting paid for your content, right? Hopefully 5 years from now.
You hit it on the nose. And that's the thing, like that would be the dream. It really would be, because I love my lifestyle. I love that it's different every day. I really love that. And I love that like right now, so obviously my full-time thing, but reselling on the side, like I love that I have different options for income. And like I've been working with this brand. It's like an underwear brand, but like doing like partnerships with them, and like they pay me for content too here and there. It's not a lot.
Nice.
But like getting my foot in the door with working with brands and understanding just like how communication with brands works and things like that. Not that I want to be like an influencer by any means. Like I don't want to make my life like promoting other people's products necessarily, but like just seeing those different realms of ways to make money. And I don't know. I think that it's really up in the air what it could look like in a few years. Because there's so like, I feel like we talked about this. I feel like there's so many different ways I could take my life.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's scary, but it's also exciting, but it's also like, I have to commit time and energy to nurturing any one of those things.
Yeah. It's also good to just live like, hey, I don't want to worry about what happens 5 years from now. I'm cool where I am now and where it goes. Like, if you asked me 5 years ago, I would not have told you that I'd be in Florida. So that wasn't part of the plan. You know what I mean?
It wasn't part of the plan. Yeah.
Or I guess it was. I just didn't know about it.
You just didn't know.
That's the more accurate part.
Yeah.
What'd you go to school for?
I studied French. I studied French and cultural global
Oh,
studies.
you
Yeah.
parlez-vous français?
We like okay, it's hard too because so with the French stuff, people ask me this a lot too. It's like I haven't worked on that craft in a long time, right? So
Yeah.
if I wanted to go back into something and like use my degree and do all that, it's like I'd almost like where do I pick up from there? Like, you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
I took 2 years of French, and all I know is like bonjour, ça va,
Like
bien,
all the basics.
merci, et toi, au revoir. Well,
Yeah,
like
oui, et
that's all I
toi.
can say. I can say
Yeah.
je m'appelle Paul. That's about it.
You got some
So
good stuff. You got the good little phrases in there.
I can say hello, goodbye, thank you. I'm
Yeah,
good. My
that's
name
the
is
start.
Paul.
That's the start.
Do you speak parlez-vous anglais?
Yeah, exactly. Like, s'il vous
if
plaît,
I'm
parlez-vous
there.
anglais.
Yeah.
Please help me speak. Yeah. Please tell me you speak English. I don't know how to speak anything
I
else.
feel
in
like
French.
that's like the thing is like if you know how to say that or where's the bathroom, you're good.
That's all you
can
need,
you
right?
can travel you can
Where
travel
is the
anywhere.
bathroom? Yeah.
That's the most
Yeah.
important part. It's like
It really is.
whenever I'm traveling to like a language I don't speak, like I'm traveling to Finland in October
Okay.
with in September with my family.
Oh,
So
just
I'm
for
learning.
fun?
We have family friends there, but we're
Okay.
going with my parents for like 5 days. We're gonna
Okay, cool.
enjoy the country. So I'm learning like the basic phrases. I'm like, I need to know. Do you speak English? I need to know where's the bathroom.
Yeah.
After that, I can figure it out.
Pretty much that's it. Maybe hello, bye, and thank you. That's all you
There
need.
you go.
That's all you need to get by.
Yeah, it's a lot of people, and that's like a big stumbling block when people want to travel. They're like, oh, I want to travel, but I gotta travel somewhere that I can understand.
Yeah.
And a big part of it is you can just swing it. That's the
You could
thing.
just
It's
wing
like,
it.
yeah,
And it's not as scary as it might feel. And especially now, we are lucky that we speak English because a lot of places speak English.
yeah.
Like it kind of like I love language and I hate
At
that
least like the big cities of the countries they
yes,
speak English.
yes.
Like maybe where your parents are. Would you say in Mater or wherever, right?
Yeah,
Your family in Bari.
Yeah.
Yeah, like maybe they don't, but when you go to like Rome, Florence,
Yeah.
Milan, there'll be
Like you'll
English
get
speakers
by
still
it.
there.
People speak English. Like you'll be okay. And you'll keep figuring it out. They can figure it out. Yeah. But yeah. Well, another thing, this is kind of circling back to the whole like where do you see yourself in 5 years, job wise and things like that. I feel like I have never told you this. You might have seen it, but because we haven't spoken and we haven't done this in a while.
Yes.
But I did a couple last summer. Last summer I did a partnership with Monaco Cocktails. Do you know Monaco?
No, I did not know about this.
Yeah, so
Interesting.
I got to like a friend of a friend got me connected so I went to a festival. I went to Riot Fest, which is like a pop punk festival, like a punk rock, like metal kind of festival in Chicago. And I partnered with them to like make content at the festival, which was super cool. So I didn't get paid per se, but I got to go to the festival for free for 3 days and then make
Wow.
content for them. So it was like a win-win, you know?
Yeah, and again, it's also a big part of working with brands is getting your foot in the door.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
doing work for quote unquote free, even though they pay
Yeah.
for the thing. In
Yeah.
the future, if you do a good job, they might ask you again, and then
come back and
actually
then-
start paying you and stuff
Mhm.
for that stuff. So then that's
Yeah, to make
cool.
it be something bigger. Yeah.
Yeah, I know you're a big festival gal, so that's kind of cool. Like you get
Yeah,
to,
it was really cool. And like and I even so now that it's a festival season again, that was in September. So I being that I made that connection, I'm drafting up an email like to the woman I worked with directly and just being like,
there you
hey,
go.
I haven't heard anything about like Riot Fest this year, but I'm open to any other like Chicago festivals. Like I'm in the area if you're looking for content creators or whatever. I'm available. Like just to, again, put myself out there and make that like hopefully keep that connection alive. You know. So we'll see.
How many festivals have you attended, do you think, in your life?
A lot. A lot. Which is funny because I'm literally like a child still.
Yeah, you're still 20. Well, you're 25, right?
25. Well, if you average out like say 3 or 4 a year since I was here, let me do some math because
Since you were born.
not since I was born. Let me like since probably I was like 18. So like what is that?
7
7
years,
years
21.
times 3. I feel like that's way lowballing it, but
Yeah.
it could be only that much. But I'm going to wait, when are you going to Finland?
End of September
okay.
25th to 29th, something like that.
Okay, cool. I'm going to Belgium in next month. Oh my god, it's next month.
Oh, you go in July?
Yeah,
For
for
a
a festival.
festival? Dang, that's awesome.
Yeah, Tomorrowland. Have you heard of it? It's like a
No.
really big in like the dance music community. It's a really big. It's one of the biggest in the world, if not the biggest in Belgium. So
Dang.
yeah, so we're gonna be there for a few days, and I've never been, so I'm like just checking off all the
There you
new
go.
places and new experiences.
It's cool. You can check it off with a festival together.
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
never been to a festival. So can you explain to me what a festival is? Is
Well,
it
it's cool
just like a
because
giant concert?
kind of yeah, and it's everyone is so different, right? And based on like the genre or based on people get really creative, right? So my favorite one ever that I'm going to in a couple weeks is the Electric Forest. That one's in Michigan. But basically, what like a music festival is multiple stages generally, lots of different artists performing, but also like there will be like art installations. So like people like contractors like are not even like independent artists will like either partner with the festival or like apply to bring their art, and whether it's like booths of like all their paintings or like people will literally like build the things that you can climb on or build sculptures throughout that you can like take pictures with. A
Oh,
lot like
dang.
there's vendors, there's food and drink, and then like art vendors. You can buy like just like clothes and jewelry and like all
Yeah.
sorts of things that you'd see at a street fair. Um, but yeah, I mean, it really is based around the music, but there's a lot to it.
And they usually will like 2 days, 3 days, or
Yeah, anywhere between like 1 to 5 days. Like it's crazy.
and so let's say it's 2 days. Do they have the same people performing
No,
both days? So you can
not
oh, so you have to
usually.
actually be like very like if there's four people playing, you have to choose one, and you can't see them again, or you can't see the other three. Kind of like that's how it
Pretty
works.
much, yeah. Pretty
Dang.
much,
So
yeah.
does it start like in the morning, ends in the evening? I'm guessing, or like
It varies. So like there like the one so there was just one in Chicago this past weekend. What's today, Monday? When we're recording this. This past weekend there was Heat Wave, so it's a new festival. The first time they did it was last year, so it was I think it started at like 2 p.m. and went to 11 because there's noise
and,
ordinances.
and it was just one day.
It was 2 days.
Oh, okay, 2 to 11.
Yeah, but
Okay.
I stopped in for one day. I really only went for like a couple hours. It was again last minute decision, but it was 2 days, and then but then there's this one that happens in Vegas it's 3 days long, and it starts at like 8 p.m. and it goes until like 6 a.m. Like it's all
Oh,
night
it
long.
started at night.
Yeah, so it's like
Interesting.
all
Okay.
about like the lights, and they have fireworks and like
Yeah.
all these cool like light up art installations that you can walk through and like really cool stuff. Like it's cool because you get to see people's creativity behind and on like a big scale. Like they're creating these giant like playgrounds for people to bounce
Yeah, for
around all
sure.
night. Like it's cool. And it makes me feel like a kid. That's what I really love about them too. It's like running around with your friends and making new friends, and like people are blowing bubbles and like carrying around like I don't know, like people are just like
Yeah.
silly, and
It's,
I
it's
love
just
that.
yeah, drama free, right?
Yeah,
Just not caring about anything.
yeah,
They're enjoying the
exactly.
moment. Yeah.
Yeah, people are just there for fun, and it's like,
There's one I want to go to in October in Vegas. I'm debating it because
yeah.
I'm into. It's called When We Were Young.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah. Is it good?
yes. Oh my gosh, I have not been, but I would
Yeah.
highly. I heard great things about it.
Like.
So last year was the first one that it did,
Yeah.
right? Like it was the first
Hmm.
time. I heard, I heard like mixed things about it, but because it was the first year, I think that's why it was kind of like rough. But I've heard that it was really really cool.
It's just like my type of music. Like Green Day, Blink
Yeah,
182, Good Charlotte. The Offspring is one of my favorite bands.
Are they
5 Seconds of
really?
Summer, Yellow Card, Sum 41, Simple Plan, Newfound Glory. I think I saw My Chemical Romance somewhere too. Like all these people that I love. So I'm
Yeah,
like, that sounds great.
yeah. I feel like I didn't know that you were into that music.
Oh no, that's my
That's your
like
bread and
that
butter.
like I don't know how you even describe it. People always ask me. I'm like alternative rock, I would guess, alternative
Yeah.
punk. I don't know how
Yeah,
you would
anywhere in
describe
that
those.
ballpark,
Yeah.
right?
But yeah, that's my thing. Like Good Charlotte, like early Green Day,
Yeah.
Linkin Park, like that kind of early Weezer.
Yeah,
Weezer
those are
now
all good
really
ones,
isn't
yeah.
isn't that, but yeah. But
So what was that like the 90s like punk kind of scene or like early
90s,
2000s?
2000s, early 2000s, it's music I listened to in high school, like '04
For
to
sure.
'08. I was in high school, so that was like it was like the Green Day, the Good Charlotte, All Making Rejects,
Yeah, yeah.
Offspring, all
Some good
those
names in
people.
there.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
fun. And Blink 182, of course, classics.
Blink 182, of course. It says, ooh, there's Gym Class Heroes. That's also one of the ones I like.
Yeah, I feel like they're back on the map all of a sudden. I haven't heard about anything about them in like years, and then all of a sudden I feel like they're doing stuff.
Just like my fear is they will have like 4 of them at the same time, and I'm like, I have to choose
Yeah.
between one.
You would have to choose. You should honestly though, you should do it. You should just go. You have time to like plan for it. It's not till October.
It's October 14th, October 14th.
You should do it. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. It's not that bad. General admission's $250. I mean, that's pretty good
was it
for
2
the whole
days?
week. I think so.
I would say do it. It's like if you like that music, I feel like it'd be worth it. You're
Yeah.
in Vegas, like that'd be so cool.
I've never been to Vegas either, so that'd be my first
Oh my
time going
gosh.
there.
Vegas is like a world that like I love it just for like this fact of like it's always alive. You would love it. Oh my god, I feel like you have to go. I'm gonna be texting you all like the next like all throughout the next few months.
If I bought my tickets yet.
Yeah. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I'd meet you there, but I'm watching my manager's getting married and I'm watching her dogs.
Lame.
I know.
Bring your
right?
dogs to when we
Bring
were
the
young.
dogs.
The
Yeah.
dogs would love it.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
I'm sure they would love it.
Yeah. Are they dog free? the
Yeah,
dog
right.
dog friendly
Buy
events?
a dog
I don't even know.
admission. Yeah, right.
The dog
Is
is a
it all
special
ages?
seat.
All dogs invited?
See, these are the questions I have to ask. So,
Exactly. These are the important questions.
the guest has to be 28 or older, so the dog has to be. I mean, 21 or older, so the dog has to be.
It's a
Or no, it
21
says-
over event.
No, it says
That's interesting.
VIP cabanas have to be for 21 over. So if I get a cabana, I don't know what that
Oh,
even
then the
means.
dog has to be 21.
Yeah. What's a cabana? Do you know what that is? What's a VIP
Um,
cabana?
I feel like if it's VIP, I feel like usually they have like sections that like based on what you buy, like you can have like your own section. Like it's a better way to see the stage.
Oh, okay.
General admission, like it's usually like higher up a little, and you have like your own. Like I never do VIP, so I don't know. I don't really know, but I know that it's like.
When I
it's usually
think
better
of
to have a
Ren, I
stage.
think of VIP. When I think of you, I'm like, this girl is definitely a VIP.
You would think no. I'm kidding.
You would think they would think that too.
I know, right? I just show up and they should be like, she's VIP. They should just know.
Like we don't even need to see her ID. We just know she's VIP.
Exactly. We just know she's
She's
VIP.
here.
That's the thing, though. I think of while I'm getting older. Okay, like in the next few years.
Yeah, you're so old.
I know. I'm a child still, but I feel like as time goes on, though, like while I keep going to these things, I'll start investing in like those kind of like VIP experiences because you get the better bathrooms. Like there are perks to doing VIP.
What is
I
a
mean?
regular bathroom? Is it like a porta potty? Is
The
that a
regular, it's the
bathroom?
porta potties and like the VIP. A lot of times they'll have like the like trucks that are like actual like
Oh,
stalls of like. I
dang.
mean,
Okay.
it varies. Again, it varies over every festival and every event. But a lot of times they'll have like actual more like established bathrooms that are not like
Do
disgusting.
they have like private people like getting the drinks and food too, or
They sometimes they do. Sometimes they do. It depends which like package you go with, but yeah.
All right. So I'm getting a VIP cabana. Then I'm gonna invite you over.
And
You
the
have to-
dogs.
And the
dogs are-
dogs. I'm
The
sure
dogs
they
are
can.
really cute. Let me show you a picture.
They can fit in the cabana. I'm sure.
Yeah, exactly. Let me find a photo of this.
So these are your boss's dogs, right? You said.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. No, it's
They're the cutest.
important
Well,
dogs.
she had one. She has one dog. No, well, now she has two. She has one dog, and then she was like, I feel like I need another one. And so they're two little corgis. But look at how cute this-
corgis! Corgis are
corgis
very
are.
cute. Aw,
Are you kidding me? That is the
that
most
is
beautiful
that
dog.
is a very cute corgi. I'm not gonna lie.
Exactly.
It's a very cute corgi. You are forgiven.
I am forgiven.
You got some roommates in there or something? Did they not
My
know?
sister got here.
Did they not know you're on a
Chad,
very prestigious
Mark this
podcast?
timestamp. What?
So did I know you're in a very important podcast right now?
I know. I'm in the middle of a very important podcast recording, so don't come into the studio. I mean, and you can't just walk into the studio.
Does she not know how to knock? Does she not know
Yeah.
what you're doing right now? Sheesh.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
You need to understand. I need silence in the studio, please. Yeah, can you
Sisters
just
never
timestamp
learn,
that?
man.
Mark that.
No, I'm keeping that in. That's great. That's great content. We're keeping that in. So does she live with you? Does your sister live with you? Or
No, I'm actually at my dad's house right now.
oh, you're not even at your. Oh, look.
Are you hearing the ruckus going on in here?
Clearly, they don't understand what the word silence means. So that's
Right.
what I'm
Oh
like.
my gosh. Well, originally no one was home, and I was like, this is perfect because because our lease is ending soon at my apartment, we have all day long, we'd have people in and out, like checking out the place, like the landlord's coming in and showing it. And I'm like, first of all, I don't want to be home for all that anyway, like random strangers walking through. And then put that with like, imagine I'm like doing this podcast and there's like random strangers like asking about the bathroom and all this stuff.
They'll be great. That's you should put
that is
the camera.
content.
I can ask them all about their lives. That'd be amazing. I feel like we lost an opportunity there. That would have been amazing. So
Next time.
You already
We'll
have
next time.
You already have a new place picked out, or are you like in limbo right now?
Yes. Okay. So my new place, I like it better, I think. But again, there could be the hidden stuff that things go wrong.
Still in the city? Or?
Yeah, still in the city. Just like a little bit closer to the highway where I have to go to work.
Are you close to Ukrainian Village at all?
Kind of, yeah.
I hear good things about Ukraine. I also never been to Chicago, by the way. So but
you gotta come to Chicago.
I hear Ukrainian Village is nice.
It is nice.
From a very biased perspective.
You do have a biased perspective.
Yeah. All right, so I don't know, Ren, if you've seen any of these podcasts, but one of the big features about this is we play a game where I play with you.
Okay.
Where you blindly rank 5 things.
So, yes. Okay, yes.
Okay. So the thing for you, since I feel like you're a free spirit, right? I'm going to give you possible states that you can move to in the future. And you have to
and I have to blindly pick?
I'm giving you 5 states, but you have to rank them without knowing what comes next. So 1 is best, 5 is worst. Okay?
Okay.
The first state I'm giving you is Texas.
Okay.
Where would you put that on the scale, 1 through 5?
But what if I don't know what the other ones are yet?
That's the beautiful part about it, is you have to figure. Yeah.
Texas is big. Texas is hot. Texas is the Lone Star State. Not that I don't know why.
Very important when you're thinking about
means.
When you move to it. You kind of want to know what kind of state it is. Okay, Florida is the sunshine state. That's why I chose Florida. It's a lot of sunshine.
Okay, Texas. I would have to put it 3. Let's put it right in the middle.
That's very fair start. Very safe. Yeah.
Yes.
I would say Texas climate probably very similar to Florida climate. Mm-hmm. I don't think we have fall or winter. Or even spring, for that matter. I don't think Florida really has a spring. We just have summer. Yeah. I moved here in January, and it was 80, right? So that's not spring weather. 80 is like full on summer, right? Yeah. And right now it's like high 80s, 90s. So I think it's just like summer all year round. So, yeah, if you like the seasons, probably not for you, right? Are you a season person? You want to see your seasons?
I used to not be. I used to be summer all around, but I love to snowboard. I learned recently in the last few years. And so I like having access to that. And then I also love everything about like Halloween. And so like I love when like the colors are changing on the trees. Like I love so fall has gotten up there a little bit too.
Actually, it's gonna be
interesting. It's not bad, but
it's gonna be my first Halloween without that here. So I'm about to see how different that is. Also, Christmas is gonna be really weird without
without snow. So not that it usually snows on Christmas anyway, but
yeah.
At least not here.
It's crazy because I'm the opposite of you. I used to be a seasons guy. I loved all the seasons. And I was like, just give me heat. I'm too old for this. Just give me heat. I think my biggest issue with PA weather was it wasn't just cold. It would just be like bipolar. It would be like January, and one day it would be like 70. And the next day it's like 30. And the next day it's like 0. And I'm like,
it's like,
can you guys just figure out what you want to do?
Figure out what you want to do. It's very inconsistent.
So like Florida it's been great for me. Okay, so Texas, it's a 3.
Texas is a 3.
Yeah. So what do you think is the positives and negatives of Texas for you?
I think that negatives, maybe the politics. Not that we're going to talk about politics, but I don't know exactly where I fall in that space. The heat, because of the season stuff, like I love the heat, but I also am like on the fence because I do love the seasons, right? It's so big that I feel like it would be hard to drive into another state if I really wanted to go somewhere else. Like it would take like 3-4 hours to get anywhere else, depending on where I was located, right? So that, but the positives, again, I love the sun. I do love that it's big. I hear great things about Austin, Texas. Like I hear that it's kind of like a hippie, like it's up and coming for like young people, that sort of thing. And then, yeah, fun stuff in Texas.
Texas is also different based on where like Houston is so different from Austin. Austin's so different from Dallas. Dallas is different from San Antonio. So
and there's opportunity, like different cities and opportunity, like
and also very affordable to live. From what I've seen, like very affordable, like more affordable than Florida, and Florida is really affordable. Okay, so Texas is
really affordable. Okay, great. Awesome.
Next, I got for you is Washington. Washington State. Mm-hmm.
So I visited Washington for the first time recently in like last October. I loved it. I love Seattle. I think Washington is beautiful. It does rain a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But I loved the vibe of Seattle. It felt it was a big city, but it was very also like welcoming almost. It felt very like,
yeah,
that's crazy.
I've been to Seattle before, so I know what you feel.
So you get
I know
it.
what you're describing. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I feel like there's a lot of nature in Washington. I might put that.
Yes, there's a lot of nature in Washington.
Yeah, I think I'm going to put that at 2.
At 2? Wow. Okay.
But I'm scared because what happens if something okay, whatever. Yeah. I think that'll be my final answer.
That would have been 5 for me.
5, really?
I was there for 5 days. It rained nonstop every single day. I couldn't handle it.
I do like the rain. I just feel like every day would be a lot.
So Florida, it rains here every day too.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
But it rains for 10 minutes and it's done. So it's not like an all day rain. Like at 3 p.m. it rains for 10 minutes, and then 10 minutes later, and it doesn't just rain. It like, I don't know how to describe it. Like a typhoon happens or something. It comes down hard for 10 minutes, but then go outside 10 minutes later and it's all dry.
And it's
like
sunshine
not just sunny. Yeah, it's all dry. Like all the rain just dried off. It's like magic happens. I don't know what's going on.
It's magic.
In Seattle, I was there for 5 days. It was like, it wasn't like pouring down rain, but it was just like constant, just like the trickle rain for 5 days straight. And I was like, I want to see sun. It was just cloudy of that. So it's just that alone, I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
And cost of living is high too. So
and that's a big one too. That is tough. But in my dream world, when I'm moving to all these places, I'm like loaded. So it's
cost of living means
I'm
nothing.
just like I'm just rich, so it's fine.
If you like coffee, Seattle is really good for coffee.
That's
they have coffee.
I do love coffee
everywhere. Like
the home of the original Starbucks.
I remember we were at one Starbucks, and across the street there was another Starbucks. And I'm like,
within eyeshot of it, yeah.
Yeah, I was
I'm
like,
not
what
surprised.
is going on? That's crazy. Okay, so Washington's 2, 3, New York.
Darn it! See, you're messing me up because I would.
What do you think I was gonna give you, like North Dakota or something?
I don't know. I thought it would be easier. So I feel like I can't put it at 1. I feel like I can't put it at 1 because I don't know.
It's your list. You can put it at 1.
I know, but I don't know what's coming next.
No, you don't.
I don't know what's coming next, but so I've never been to New York. But
really?
I know, right?
That is so surprising to me that you've never been to New York.
It's on the list, and I'll get there eventually.
What's the farthest east you've been?
I've been to Massachusetts. I hung out in Boston for.
So you were right around New York. You're like 3 hours away, 2 hours away from New York.
Oh yeah, that's close. That's close. I was in Boston, and then outside of Boston, and then Salem, because it was October.
You went for that. That's cool.
We did all the witchy stuff. It was cute.
Mm-hmm.
But I love big city vibes, right? Because I love Chicago, and I feel like I would thrive in New York just because of the size and like the energy of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
High cost of living.
Yes.
Which I know I said it wouldn't matter.
But again, you're loaded though. You're loaded, right?
Know.
In this scenario, you're loaded.
I know. But so I actually have a friend of a friend who lives in New York, and she was saying how like it's crazy that like you'll find an apartment and you literally have to have someone come in and install. Like all the apartments are like one bedrooms or a studio, and then they have to come and install a wall so that you can have cheaper rent with 2 roommates. Or like crazy, like it's just like kind of complicated. It feels like, unless you're rich.
Did you ever watch that content guy too, where he goes, "How much do you pay for rent in New York?" There's a guy who makes YouTube videos. Okay. He goes up to strangers in New York City. He goes, "How much do you pay for rent?" And they say, "I pay $1,400 or whatever." And he goes, "Can we go see your space?" And then they go and they see the apartment, and some of these people pay like $2,000 for like 500 square feet.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and they have
You're
to
like, why?
build things on top of things to they're like they're like, here's my kitchen, but on top of it is all my storage for my clothes because I
Yeah.
can't fit it
It's like in
anywhere
your
else.
closets in your kitchen. Like it is. It's weird like that. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Mm,
I feel you on that for sure. Yeah.
yeah. But I hear also that the transit system, like the public transit system, is amazing, like next level,
Yes, the
like that sort
subway
of
is
thing.
incredible. Subway
Right?
is hard to
It's like
beat.
very
Yeah,
well put together and like it all connects and
yeah.
um
Also
man.
very easy to maneuver because I'm not really good with the
Yeah.
whole following the stops and all that, but
Mhm.
the subway I can figure out pretty easy.
Okay.
So
Hmm.
so you're not going one. So you're between 4 and 5 then for is
It's
it?
between 4 and 5.
Mm-hmm.
I thought you were going to tell me all of these in advance and I could rank them.
Oh no, that's not fun.
Or not like in advance, but
this is way more fun to do
because
it
I want to
blindly.
like I think I want to put it above Texas, but
You can't. Well, unless it goes one.
I can't do that. I'm going to have to say 4.
4. New York is 4. Okay. Okay.
I don't know if I played my cards right with this one with this game.
We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Depends what I hit you with next, right?
I know. North Dakota,
Uh,
give me North Dakota.
you know, what if somebody from North Dakota is watching, right? You want to upset him?
I actually I actually met a guy on the beach and he was a comedian when we were in Hawaii and so he was telling us jokes and he was like, "Yeah, I'm from North Dakota." And we thought that was like one of his jokes cuz the way he was like saying it, we thought it was like one of his jokes and he's like, "No, I'm being serious. Like that's like I'm just from North
Dang.
Dakota." Anyway, all right.
All
Sorry
right.
North Dakotians. I'm sure it's great.
Number 4, Colorado.
Number 1.
Number 1. Dang. Sheesh.
Because Colorado has been on my radar, and my friends and I talk about when we do move out of the city, like going to
Oh,
Colorado.
really? Oh,
Unfortunately,
really?
again,
Okay.
there are things that I don't love about Colorado but I'm like kind of willing to like make it a sacrifice. Like with Denver, I mean, the homeless population, not that that's like a bad thing necessarily, but the way that the political climate is moving it's like almost like feeling dangerous in some ways.
Oh,
Just
okay.
like recently, maybe not recently, maybe like a couple of years ago, they like passed a legislation that like it doesn't like homeless camps can come up anywhere, like the tent cities
Oh,
are
really?
allowed like anywhere, and so that obviously plays a
That
role. Like
that
that
sounds
obviously
like
affects the
LA.
cities. Yeah,
That sounds
right.
like yeah, yeah.
Right. But I think that I wouldn't be necessarily in Denver, but a little bit outside of Denver. But I love it because like it has the
Good. It's
seasons,
good.
but
Good
it's
for
also sunny,
snowboarding.
good for
If you
snowboarding.
like snowboarding.
I feel like it gets cold, but it never is like so cold you can't handle it almost. Like based on what I've heard from my friends who do live there or
Well,
have lived there.
if you're used to Chicago cold, I don't think Denver cold is much different.
Exactly.
The
Exactly.
the
And
elevation you have to get used to. It's a lot
you
higher,
would
so
have
you
to
have
get
to get
used
used
to
to a
the
little bit.
elevation.
Yeah.
But also this is something that I like to consider with the big cities is like the live music scene and so many artists like everyone
Really?
likes to play in
Okay.
Colorado because there's Red Rocks and there's other great venues
Yeah.
around
I heard
here.
Red Rocks is like the best
Yeah.
venue in the world. Something like that, right?
Yeah, and I've never seen a
Yeah.
show there.
Oh.
So, yeah, I
What?
know.
No, you
I
gotta
know.
change that. You gotta
I
change
know.
that.
See, there's a lot I haven't done still, places I've
Yeah.
never been.
Do
So,
you
but that
know
goes number 1.
I learned to snowboard in Colorado. Do you know that?
Really?
Not a good place to learn.
Well, yeah, because it's like you just get thrown into a full mountain.
Yeah.
You're just in a full
We
mountain.
went to Breckenridge with some
Yeah.
friends.
Okay.
We went there for like a week. We rented it wasn't an Airbnb, it was a Verbo or something.
Okay,
One
yeah,
of those.
Verbo, yeah.
Yeah, one of those. Beautiful, like snow cottage, like gorgeous. And we went to we traveled like to some like Strawberry Springs, like in Wyoming.
Oh,
We did the
cool.
hot springs. We did the thing,
So
and
cool.
yeah, I was not ready for those mountains. I'm just saying.
It's intense because it's like, I mean, it's nice that they're longer, so you have like a longer
Yeah.
than like Midwest mountains, that I learned on, but it can be really intense. You just
Yes,
jump right
yes.
in.
People that don't snowboard, they're usually like ranked by like green, right? There's like green,
Yes.
there's blue,
The
I think,
I think
black.
it's usually like blue, green, or wait, green, blue, black, double black, diamond, which are like the really
Yeah,
intense ones.
right, yeah. So like, and my friends told me that my friends have been doing this. They're like, the green ones in Breckenridge are like a black diamond in Pennsylvania.
Yes. Yes.
Just how big the
Exactly.
difference is. So I was like,
Literally.
oh, I'll go with the easiest one, but it's actually the hardest one in
100%.
PA. Yeah, but
Exactly.
it was different and also cool because actually it's real snow. And in other states
Mhm.
it's
It's like
artificial
man-made. Yeah. It's like,
yeah.
yeah.
In Breckenridge it was real. So I would try it again, but maybe in somewhere easier. But yeah, but Colorado's cool. Colorado's cool.
Yes.
I can see why you like it.
I'm going to have to put it number 1.
All right.
So whatever state is last, it sucks because it has to be 5.
I try to save you from
You
this.
tried to warn me.
I try to warn you. Number 5
Watch,
is
it's gonna be Hawaii.
Hawaii. It is
I-
Hawaii.
I knew it. I knew you were going to do this to me. Oh my gosh. I guess it has to be 5.
Yes. Why do you hate Hawaii? Tell us why
Okay.
you hate Hawaii, please.
Okay, let me tell you why I would not why the bad things. I think cost of living, even though I'm rich in this world,
Again, you're
But-
loaded.
but realistically, as much as I loved being in Hawaii, the fact that it's an island, it's like 5-7 hours to get anywhere else, right? So
Okay.
as much as I love traveling and as beautiful as it is, and I think I would love it at least for like a little bit, like I could live there for a year or something, but it's the island. You get like what's the word, like stir crazy almost, or I hear that can happen.
Interesting. Okay.
So that'll be my reason for putting it at 5. Even though I
So
wouldn't say.
if you were in Hawaii, would you live in Maui? Would you live in Honolulu? Where would you live?
That's tough. I feel like I would say like big city. I'd probably be like Big
Yeah.
Island or Oahu kind of thing. But I have never been there either. So it's hard to say. Maui is so beautiful, but if you're on the islands, you can easily get from island to
Yeah,
island.
that's what I figure, right? If you want the
Yeah.
Maui experience, you can just go there by boat. and
Exactly.
Go,
And so it's
go,
like,
go surf a little bit and then come back.
exactly. Just
you
hop
wanna
over, surf on over, and then yeah. But yeah.
I should have given you like South Dakota last, right? That would have been great, right?
South Dakota's cool. I went there for the first time a few weeks
Oh,
ago.
really? You went to
Yeah.
South Dakota, but never been to New York? That's an interesting
I know.
combination.
Well, yeah, it was an interesting thing. There'll be a vlog about it, but we just went to the Badlands to do a little hiking, camping trip, quick little thing. So we saw a bunch of bison.
How bad were the lands? Which is bad.
They were
Badlands?
bad. Let me show you a
Those.
picture of the bison.
How
It
close
was-
did you get to these bison?
So close. Well, because
You
we were
really that
driving out of
close?
the
Oh.
we were driving out of the national park, and they were just sitting there at the like. This is like not zoomed in right outside my window. Out of the car window. Oh wait, hold on.
That
I mean,
is very close.
I made it too bright.
That is very close.
Ah.
I don't know what that. Wow.
Why
So
is it so
that-
hard for me to put my phone up?
That shows it. That's a gorgeous picture, by the way. That's like a background in people's phones picture.
Right?
Yeah,
Maybe I should make
that's-
it my background.
Yeah, but that's interesting. Huh? Bison, cool. I think I did a bad job also promoting you this whole 2 hours we've been here. I think people know anything about. So those videos that wherever your travel videos, they go to your Living Large with El Crew channel,
Yes.
right?
Yes, they do.
Okay. Can you explain
Yeah.
the name?
Yeah, so it's funny and it's complicated. So Ren is short for Lauren, and so growing up, and my last name is Crudelli, and so growing up, everyone called me like El Crew. That was like my nickname for whatever reason. And I don't know how it came to be. It just happened, and so kind of like became a brand before I was like Ren. So it was like El Crew or Ren, and I know they don't really sound similar, but that's how it came
Yeah.
to be. And the vlog channel, it's vlogs, it's travel, music festivals, and events like that. Just like fun experience channel, adventure vlog, I like to call it. It's basically just like my adventures and sharing my stories and encouraging all of my viewers to do whatever it takes to step out of your comfort zone and experience something new. It doesn't always have to be a grandiose trip, right? But it could be a new experience. And so that's that. I just like sharing those adventures and those stories.
Yeah, the first time I heard about you, I thought you actually had like a crew that you would travel with. I thought that was the name. It's like, oh, this
I
is
know,
like
right?
a crew
Crew,
that travels
yeah.
together. Oh, the El Crew. That's cool.
In some ways, I do. You see a lot of repeat faces in my videos,
I
right?
do see a lot of repeat friends. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you haven't posted that in a while. I don't want to scold you or anything, but it's been a while since there was a vlog.
Well,
or
because I've been
anything
doing
then.
shorts. You could see I've been in a lot of shorts.
Oh, you've been in the short game.
But by the time this video is uploaded, this podcast, a new video will be up. I'm uploading it within the
Are
hour.
you sure? Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay, so the video's
It's,
gonna be up
it's
today.
as we speak, it is
Oh,
uploading to YouTube.
okay. So today is Monday, June 12th. It's
Yes.
gonna be up. This
Mark my
podcast is
words.
gonna be up on Wednesday, June 14th.
Okay,
So
well then
in
check
two
out my channel.
days, they can. 2 days, they will see. What are you uploading right now? What is the vlog?
Taking my friends to their first pop punk show.
Yeah, and that was
Um,
what state was that in? Or
I went to Milwaukee for that.
oh, Wisconsin. Interesting.
Wisconsin, yeah,
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin. Which
Is
it was
that
like a
close to
2 hour
you?
drive. It's it's not.
Yeah, I figured like that part of like
Yeah,
the country, Michigan,
everything's
Milwaukee,
yeah.
uh, Indiana, whatever. Because I had on here before Dan, who lives in Indiana, but he's so close
Okay.
to Chicago that all they do is just cheer for the Chicago teams, even though he's in Indiana. So I
That's
figured
pretty funny.
you guys are all around there.
Yeah, it's we're all connected. It's
Yeah.
all one big state basically.
Yeah, I should get like a map. I figured of over here and just see where all my people I interviewed from. Try to get all 50
That
states
would be
involved.
really cool. I was gonna say because you have.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
I'm thinking. I'm thinking now. So you're 7. I had Amber first. She was Iowa. I had Anfisa second. She was Alaska.
Oh yeah.
Dan was third, Indiana. Josh was next. He was Jersey. Then I had Jess. She was Missouri. Ray is Tennessee, and now you're Illinois. So they're all different. We had all
That's
different states.
awesome.
Yeah.
That should be
Yeah.
a thing that you do. Like that'd be really cool. So the next person you have on has got to be from somewhere. And then once you're done with your first 50 episodes, then you can have repeat states.
Or I go countries.
Or you
Like,
go
I
countries.
gotta get somebody from Costa
Yes.
Rica or something on it.
Yes. But that is so cool. You should definitely do that. And then you could have the map and be like, okay, that's coloring this state or like putting a pin in the state.
I got all the people like a lot of people gave me a lot of credit for the map idea where I
Yeah.
did a
Oh my God,
scratch off map for where I shipped the items to. I got that from you.
Did you really?
Yeah,
'Cause
I got
that's
that
fun.
idea
That's
from
so.
you.
Oh, I love that. I got that from someone else on Instagram. I'm not taking credit.
Well,
Not taking credit.
I'm
I don't-
giving you credit, so take the credit.
Thank you. Okay, thanks everyone. No, I did. I remember us talking about that actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
And your map is crazy. You've shipped everywhere. I feel like there's nowhere you haven't shipped yet.
I have to take it. I haven't taken it out since I
Okay.
brought it here. But yeah, I
Okay.
shipped to all 50 states last year, and I think I hit 57 countries, which
Yeah.
is like
Amazing.
so. Because in the past I wouldn't care at all where the stuff was going, but then
Yeah.
because of the map, I was like, oh, it's going to this city in Denmark. Let me check the city
Yeah.
out or whatever. And I would just
It's
Google that
cool.
city, Google their address, see where it's going to. A lot
Yeah.
of my stuff was going into like schools in like the Middle East, which is really weird. Like
Wow.
Saudi Arabian schools are getting a lot of my stuff. I don't know.
But
what
like
they
the
were buying it
schools
for.
were like purchasing stuff. Like
Yeah, like the address was
Wow.
to a school
To
in
a school,
the
wow.
city. Yeah, so I
It's
don't know if they
interesting.
were like I sold like 4 flags. I know they all went to a school in Saudi Arabia. So
Wow.
I guess they were doing like world teaching
Yeah, I'm
things.
sure.
So it was
That's
it's
pretty
interesting.
cool.
Pretty interesting to see where stuff is going. But yeah, got the idea from you. So what
I
we're
love
talking about is Ren had
All connected.
I think I saw on your Instagram story where he had like a map. And wherever you shipped it to, you just color that part of the map.
Yeah.
You're like, all right, ship it to Oregon. That Oregon gets
Color it
scratched
in.
off, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I did the same thing but with the world. It's a fun idea.
Yeah, it's fun.
So
It's
I
just
should
cool.
do it for the
it's
podcast.
yeah.
Yeah. And then eventually get like all the cities. I'm like,
Yeah.
Chicago. I have Nashville. I have all these. Pretty interesting. And then be like, oh, you're from Chicago. I interviewed Ren from Chicago. She's cool.
Yeah.
You guys should meet.
And then let's connect. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's all about the
There you go.
connection. I'm telling you.
All part of the flip side universe.
The flip
That's
side
what it's-
universe.
The
Yes.
flip side universe. It's
And
gonna
it's
be a
funny
thing.
because full circle, it's funny because at the end of all my like adventure vlogs, I'm like, catch you on the flip. And that's my little
Oh,
tagline.
you say that too? That's
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah, I had Ray on last week, the last
Yeah.
previous, and he's always I catch you guys on the flip side. So
Flip side, yeah.
so there we go. You guys are just giving me
We
all
all-
this
it's
promotion.
all of us.
Appreciate it.
We're-
Appreciate
We
it.
are all the crew.
Oh,
That's the
oh,
crew.
oh,
The
oh,
flip
all
crew.
all the free promo the flip side's getting. I appreciate it. That's awesome. Did you just freeze again? It felt like
I
you
love
froze.
it.
Yeah,
No, my computer. Yeah. Am I awake now? You see it? I'm back.
you're
in
back.
action?
You're back. But you were frozen for like
Okay.
half a
I
second.
thought you
It was-
froze.
It was a great phase you froze. It was a great phase to freeze on though. So
It's probably
it was
like-
fun. Yeah, it's perfect. It's fantastic.
Great.
It might be the thumbnail. It was that good.
Oh, good. I'm excited for that.
And then real quick before we sign off, talk about your other channel as well, the
Yes,
Out of the
my other
Box.
channel. Yes, yeah. So, as you all know, Paul, from his reselling, I'm sure is where it all began, right?
Correct.
So I was inspired by him and many other people. I was watching so much.
Sure, it was all me. It was just all
It,
me.
it was
Just
obviously
so
all Paul. We gotta
inspiring.
give him gotta give credit where it's due. But I was consuming so much reselling content, and while I'd be packaging orders or like whatever, that I was like, why don't I like try and contribute also to this like part of this little reselling universe? And while I was telling Paul before the show started, I've been kind of neglecting that channel a lot because a lot of my focus has been on like the travel content. But I want to be part of it. I want to make those connections and be do what I can to add to the conversation. So I've been, while it's been neglected, I have content on my Out of the Box Thrift channel, which is like my little shop name. It's just my fun little like that's my Instagram and that's my like whatever, my Depop and like eBay and all those reselling platforms is Out of the Box Thrift. Because I made that little name because I feel like when I started reselling, it was pretty much all clothes, and I love finding like unique pieces. Like, sure, it's fun to find like the ones that will like sell, like Lululemon and things that will sell for high quality, high price points. But I think the really unique pieces are fun, and like don't put your style in a box. You don't have to fit into one like idea of like I wear only athletic clothing or I'm like a bohemian style. Like, just wear whatever you feel comfortable in, and that's kind of where that came from. And obviously it's branched out and become a little more because I sell random whatever now. But again, I sell anything, don't put me in a box. So
Well,
sort of
I feel like that is just good way for how you describe your life too. I feel like the way you live your life is very out of the box. So it's a perfect
all over
name
the place.
for your reseller store for sure.
Yeah. And I think too, like this has inspired me to just seriously like hop back in and make like put out content. Just like do
Better.
it. Yeah.
But I hear a lot of shout outs. A lot of shout outs for me. That was my favorite part of watching your videos. Is anytime I would hear my name in them, I'm like, oh, there we go.
Oh, I love it.
So I'll put both of Ren's channels down below. I can also link your Instagram. Do you want anything else? You want your TikTok or anything else promoted? Do you have a TikTok, right? Do you post on TikTok? Or
I don't really. I mean, I have one, but I don't really like. I wouldn't be if there's anywhere you're gonna follow me. I'm not gonna say TikTok. Definitely Instagram and YouTube.
And YouTube.
Those are my big two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw also on your Instagram when out of the box, you do a lot of like sales on there too, right? You'd be like, hey, if anybody wants these shorts, they're like $10 or whatever, or these shirts. But does that work for you in the past? That's an interesting.
It does. I mean, it has in the past. It's not always successful, but I will, especially if I'm like, I need to clear out some inventory. I'm like, someone claim these, make me an offer. Then like, if you buy directly through Instagram DMs, like I know it's not like people don't love doing that because there's no like, buyer insurance or whatever.
Yeah.
But I know I like to just like send out on my story. I'll be like proof of receipt that I've like sold it. I'll send you shipping in like info right away, like tracking info. But I like it because I don't really have to pay fees. I usually can get cheaper shipping than some of the platforms like Poshmark. You're always paying like $7-8 for shipping
for like a first class item. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and it's cost me like $4 to ship it. So like I'll give it to you like at cost, and I don't have to pay those fees. Whatever, it kind of works out for both of us. So I do like to sell directly on Instagram if I can.
Direct to consumer is always the best. I've actually had some people that 100%. Like support me when I buy on my eBay, and I've told some of them that they have Instagrams. I'm like, if you see something you like, just message me on Instagram saying, hey, I like this. I'll sell it to you for cheaper because I don't have to pay the eBay fees. And then you'll get it at a discount rate. I'll get the same amount of money for it. It'll be easier. And I think the people that like when you say when there's like the buyer insurance trust part, I think that they already follow you on Instagram. There's probably already some trust there that they know you're a legit person. You're not a,
like that you're
a scumbag that's gonna rip the people them off on their whatever American Eagle jeans or whatever. So I think there's definitely some safety there. But I always wondered about how that. I was thinking of getting a little more into that aspect of selling, but it's good to know that it works. Good to know that that's an avenue you can reach out to for sure.
Yeah, it just depends on like if your audience is active that day or like again. There's a lot of moving parts to it, but I try, and sometimes it works.
I follow a guy that does video gaming. He does the same thing. He does claim sales, but he posts he doesn't do stories. He actually makes Instagram posts.
Oh,
And he
okay.
goes, as long as this post is up, the item's available. That's what he does. As soon as it sells, I'll delete the post.
Yeah.
And he posts like sometimes 50 a day, just like 50
It's
different.
crazy. And people just claim them.
And then next day, there's like only 10 left. I'm like, wow, this guy just sold 40 games all on Instagram,
I mean,
all direct to
that's
consumer.
awesome. If it's like, it's a way to like, people are on the social media anyway. And if they follow you, it's like, it's a good, quick way.
Yeah.
I mean, similar to like Whatnot in a lot of ways. I'm sure like, you're like, okay, I'm pretty much guaranteed to get rid of all these items quickly.
For
Maybe
sure.
not for the highest price, but it's like, I can get in, get out, whatever. And then people get something fun. You get to make a few bucks and there you go.
And I'm all about different avenues of revenue coming in. So
100%.
if you can make Instagram that, why not?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna try. I'll do what I can to try.
That way you could actually be loaded in one of your ideal
and
sitcoms.
live in one of the 5 places that
when you're living in your studio in New York, you could be loaded.
yeah, with my closet above my kitchen, above my refrigerator.
I'm sure you'll make it cool, but you'll figure it out.
I'll decorate it. Yeah. We'll make it work.
Yeah. All right, thank you so much, Ren, for coming on. It was a lot of fun.
Thank you.
We gotta do it again, but not like in a year and a half like last time. We gotta make it faster.
Actually, I need to get better about this. You gotta hold me accountable. You gotta call me up and be like, "We're doing this. Schedule it in."
There we go. I'll do
I
it.
just gotta do it.
Don't
really
pick
glad
John
we did
Mayer over me next time.
Don't worry. No one comes before Paul next time. Okay.
There we go. That's what I want to hear.
Yeah. And all of you watching, remember that. No one comes before Paul.
That's a great way to end. That's a good thing to end on.
If you're going to take anything out of this video, take that. Let that be your lesson. Let that be your lesson from this podcast.
That's fantastic.